sector, please report to the stewards table immediately. Here's some NBA finals from this afternoon's play. Milwaukee defeated Chicago 112-90. Kansas City 105, New Jersey 97. New Orleans 100, Detroit 97. Cleveland 93, Atlanta 89. Seattle 103, Boston 92. Philadelphia 99, Golden State 87. In overtime, New York 143, Denver 141. Another final just in San Antonio 106, Portland 95.
Right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NBA basketball. This afternoon's game between the Washington Bullets and your Phoenix Suns.
All right. You guide us.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the Washington Bullets. At forward, from Norfolk State, number 10, Bob Dandridge. At forward, from Houston, number 11, Elvin Hayes. At center, from Louisville, number 41, Wes Unseld.
Pardon me, say again.
Millersville, number 20, Phil Walker. At guard, from Grambling, number 32, Larry Wright. Coach Dick Mata, assistant coach Bernie Bickerstaff, trainer John Lamb. Injured and not playing for the Bullets this afternoon, Tom Henderson, Mitch Trupchak, Kevin Freeby, and Phil Shadir.
Tennis is over. Who won?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for
Did
your
Borg win?
Phoenix Suns. At forward, from North Carolina, number 6, Walt Davis. At forward, from Oklahoma, number 24, Gar Kerr. At center, from Santa Clara, number 21, David. being broadcast back to Washington on WTOP by the voice of the Bullets, Frank Herzog. It is being seen on CBS television with Jerry Gross and Steve Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, the 24-second clocks are inoperative this afternoon until they can be repaired. I will be announcing 10 seconds and 5.
From Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, Arizona, it's the Washington Bullets against the Phoenix Suns. Walt Davis, sensational rookie in scoring, leads his Phoenix Suns against the Washington Bullets. That's next with the NBA on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's show is sponsored by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. All the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. And by Alcoa, the producer of energy-saving aluminum.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Jerry Gross. Along with Steve Jones, we greet you from the home of the Phoenix Suns. In the dark uniforms, the Washington Bullets in the white. Dennis Autry at 6'10" against Elvin Hayes. Hayes at 6'9", and you see Larry Wright coming up with it. Moving to your left, in the dark uniforms, the Washington Bullets, they have been riddled with injuries this afternoon. Wes Unseld in the middle against Dennis Autry. Trying to back in and turn. Elvin Hayes with his favorite turnaround jumper, Steve.
Well, the thing that Washington's really going to have to be concerned with is tempo of the game. They only have 7 players that can play. They're going to have to control the tempo. They're going to have to keep it to where Phoenix does not just run them out of the game.
Dennis Autry working in the middle. The man who is not starting is Alvin Adams. Autry. Dennis Autry. Now Washington with the back line. You see carrying the ball now on the back line, Larry Wright, number 32, working along with another young man, Phil Walker. Walker is a rookie. That's right, going into Walker in the corner. Knocked out of bounds. It didn't go out of bounds. It's saved by Westphal. So Paul Westphal, the all-pro, bringing it down. That's the sensational rookie. Walter Davis back in the middle. Back to Davis. He misses a shot that normally he has been putting in all year long. It's been tough inside as well as outside. We have a 2-2 tie, 10:49 to go. Unseld outside, a little too deep for his range, and out of bounds it goes.
Those kinds of shots from the outside, really going to get Washington in a problem as far as stamina-wise goes. They're going to have to make those shots. Those are the kind of shots, if you miss, they're the first pass to a fast break.
Now leading the attack, trying to move the ball, Phil Walker. Walker stands at 6'3", and Wright, you just saw. Wright is only 6'1". There again is the big guy, the Big E. So he has pumped in 2 in a row. Elvin Hayes having his greatest year last year. Tremendous overall year for Elvin. Now we have a 4-2 ball game. Inside, Don Boozy. Boozy acquired in the offseason. Don Boozy ties it up at 4. First period of NBA action. All the action coming your way from Phoenix, Arizona. Outside, Bobby Dandridge. Dandridge was working as a guard the other night because of the injuries in Los Angeles. Too deep and knocked almost out of bounds, saved by Boozy. Boozy to Westphal, knocked away by the Big E, Elvin Hayes momentarily. Westphal will drive to his left with his left hand, but shoots right-handed. Westphal with his first 2 of the afternoon, and it's 6-4 as Phoenix jumps into the lead for the first time. Blocked on a fine play by Dennis Autry. Boozy. Davis with a bounce pass to Westphal.
That's what they want right there. They want the breaking opportunity every time they can come down. Larry Wright, it should be his job today to get the Bullets into a good pattern, run a good play, take some time off the clock, and make the Phoenix Suns play some defense.
Double pick on the left side. Dandridge can't find room. That is Walker shooting in the corner. And Elvin Hayes with a rebound. Elvin normally shoots better when he can turn with his back to the basket and spin with that great rhythm. That's the first shot he's missed, however, this afternoon. Garfield Hurd. That's Davis inside.
Again, notice what the outside shot will do. If you miss the outside shot, it puts you in a deficit situation where the other team gets an opportunity to run the ball back at you. That time, it wasn't a real good breaking opportunity, but they did get the ball down quickly. They got a good shot. Davis followed it up.
Unseld now trying to bring things outside and go inside to Bobby Dandridge. And he's whacked from behind by the rookie, Walt Davis. And Bob Dandridge will go to the line out of Norfolk State. Big story about him, Steve. As you know, he was acquired as a free agent.
Well, he came as a free agent, had some problems up in Milwaukee, but he played tremendously well up there. I think he's one of the most underrated forwards in the league. He does his job night in and night out as well as anybody in professional basketball, but doesn't get the recognition.
Walker with a good drive, blocked on the play by Gary. The other way, they get 2. And it's now 4 points for Don Boozy. Fine defensive effort by the big guy, number 24, Garfield Hurd. So now we have a 12-4 lead for Phoenix, their biggest bulge. They're up by 8. Wright trying to go baseline. You notice how Autry switched off, and it cost him. Wes Unseld there to tip it in, the big guy in the middle. Great outlet passer. Fine team player. That's Westfall forcing his shot. Elvin Hayes with a rebound for Washington. Washington trailing by 6, first period, 8 minutes to go. The NBA on CBS in Phoenix, Arizona. Walker outside. Walker from Millersville, Pennsylvania.
That's a real good play that time. That's probably one of the best executed plays the Bullets have had up to this point. They've had a couple of shots from Hayes outside, and everything else has come from outside but hasn't gone down. That time they rolled the ball inside from Unseld to Dandridge. That was a good basket as Boozy gets his down.
Boozy now has 6 points, so Don Boozy whacking that one in, and you see the lead once again here in Phoenix is 6 points with 7.5 minutes left to go in the opening period. Don Boozy picking up right. Walker being hawked by Westfall, who's dropping off trying to stop Unseld at the high post. Now Dandridge on a switch. Davis picking up the little man. It's blocked by Garfield Hurd. Fine effort. Here's Davis. Another bounce pass. That's a bad one out of bounds, and a fine play by Don Boozy.
Well, that was a tough handle that time, but there you got a chance to see why Walter Davis is so valuable. He gets the ball up the court. He dribbles the ball very well. He's got good foot speed. He's a good passer. That time the pass was just a little bit of a skidder, and it got away from Boozy, and he saved it.
Boozy will inbound out of Evansville, goes to Dennis Autry. Now Westfall, who likes to favor going left and shooting right, and you saw it right there. Westfall has 6. He's high man with Boozy.
Well, Westfall, I really believe, is most dangerous going to his left. The thing to Phil Walker, and he's a rookie, he's going to have to adjust to it, pushing him to his right and making him shoot from the outside. Westfall is very dangerous as a penetrator.
Westfall has an inch on him. He's 6'4". He's blocked out now momentarily. Dandridge in the corner. Elvin Hayes blocked in a foul against Boozy. He was all over the back of the Big E. We have 6 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first period here in Phoenix. The score, the Sons of Phoenix 16 and the Bullets of Washington 8.
See what's new today.
Introducing the 3rd generation Monte Carlo. The 3rd generation of a highly successful personal luxury car. Its highly original styling opens new dimensions in affordable luxury and in comfort. With more rear seat headroom, legroom, and hip room than last year's Monte Carlo. The 3rd generation Monte Carlo. Drive it and put a little distance between yourself and the crowd.
Up here, the wind can turn an entire ski slope into one big snowdrift. But you've got the horsepower and the know-how to take the mountain away from the storm and give it back to the skiers. And now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Beer after beer. You got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
We're back here in Phoenix. Jerry Gross along with Steve Jones, CBS Sports. Next Saturday, the 3rd round, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and next Sunday, the final round of the Andy Williams $200,000. Steve Jones, and a big defending champ who's had a whale of a year.
Tom Watson is off to a good start. He was the winner at the Tucson Open, and he was the player of the year a year ago. I think he's going to have another great year in golf.
Understand that course is drying out in San Diego after much rain there. Should be in excellent shape for the Andy Williams. $200,000. That's next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. You see Elvin Hayes at the foul line, the Big E in a battle for the Rookie of the Year honors back a number of years ago, 10 to be exact, and his teammate now, Wes Unseld, beat him out. But Elvin Hayes had a whale of a first year. Elvin now with 6:42 to go has made it a 6-point difference as Phoenix has the lead. Elvin Hayes has banged home a total now of 6 points. Now that's Westfall bringing it up. Dennis Autry. Neither team has made a change in their lineup. Davis with 10 seconds to go. The 24-second clock is on the blink here in Phoenix. 5 seconds to shoot. You hear the public address announcer calling it out, and Boozy misses the shot. Larry Wright brings it up.
Well, that was Washington's best defensive effort that time. They had good pressure on the ball. They made Phoenix pass the ball 3 or 4 more times than they wanted to, and they ended up getting the ball back.
Garfield Hurd whacks him before the shot. Elvin Hayes will go to the line. He'll get only one. That'll be, I believe, not a one-shot foul. If it is, I don't think he'll go to the line. So it cannot be a shooting foul because it is only the 3rd foul.
We see another look at it right there, Jerry. He gave him a little pump fake. Hurd came into him just before he put the ball up, and the ball is out to Washington.
That's Walker on the back line, going over to Dandridge, and Elvin Hayes again. Wes Unseld battling for it underneath. Boozy tips it over to Westfall. Westfall brings it up with his club up by 6 points with 5:50 to go. First quarter of action. We greet you from Phoenix, Arizona. That's Davis, the kid who's done so well on the year, being hawked by Elvin Hayes, and he cans it anyway. What a year he has had. Davis scoring. Davis has been averaging 23.5 points per ball game.
He's in a real tear. The last 7 games, he's averaging 28.9. He's just done it all. He's a tremendous player, got a good outside shot, good quickness, can drive the ball, handle it. Again, we see him handling the ball right there, and a great pass to Westfall.
No question about it, Stephen. He has excellent quickness. And before the game, John McLeod was telling both of us one of the great things about this young man is he does everything well.
He's a complete player, and again, he's the key addition, and that's the reason that they're 28-14 and in 2nd spot in the Pacific Division.
And it's a 10-point lead here, and Paul Westfall has scored. He's high man. He scored 8 points. Now here's Davis. He can rebound, play defense, and pass. Boozy.
Now you notice every time that the Phoenix Suns get a breaking opportunity, it comes out when the Washington Bullets are shooting from the outside. That they have no rebounders. They can't get back quickly enough. They have to control the tempo of the game if they expect to stay close and stay in the hunt.
Wes Unseld working off the high post against Autry. Elvin Hayes is going to have to score a ton this afternoon. He knows the burden's on him. The rebound by Davis again. He goes over to Boozy on the left side. That's Westfall. Westfall trying to back in the smaller guard, has the advantage. Basket counts, and he's fouled in the active shooting.
Welcome to the NBA. That's all you can say for Phil Walker. He's not had much playing time, and today is his first real look at Paul Westfall. Westfall has him on the side there, and he just gets him off his feet with a little pump fake, and he goes to the line.
81% foul shooter. Westfall averaging 25.5 points per game. He may be, well, he has to be one of the better guards in the NBA. Maybe the best guard right now.
Well, I don't think he's the best guard, but I think he's a tremendous guard for the Phoenix Suns. Paul Westfall does not do all of the things in basketball that you could consider the best guard. He's not really a good ball handler. He's not a tremendous passer, and there are some guards that can do those things better than he.
It is now 25-10. That's the score. A 15-point lead with 4 minutes left to go. Westfall has pumped in 11 points in the first quarter. That's right, faking out Bayard Forrest, who just came into the ball game, number 35. The big guy landed on him, and so that will be a foul called against the home team, their 5th foul, and it'll be a shooting foul. Coming up, he'll get 2.
Well, that's what happens when you get the big fellas out in the twilight zone. They really don't know how to handle it out there, and he goes up, he leaves his feet. All he had to do was just stay down on the ground. Wright had a tough shot from the corner. He may have made it, but he wouldn't be on the line for an easy 2. He's a good free thrower.
So the kid from Grambling is there at the line. Grambling star, drafted number 1 by Washington on a hardship case, Larry Wright. He is in his 2nd year. That makes it now 25-11, a 14-point lead enjoyed by Phoenix as Westfall tries to go with a turnaround jump, and Elvin Hayes grabs the rebound. Now here comes Washington. A good move, good hesitation.
Larry Wright.
Well, that's what Larry Wright would like to do best. He's excellent in a running situation, but they really can't afford to run. They just don't have enough people.
Wright stole it away again, and then it was Walker with the ball, giving it to Unseld. Dandridge now has up against him Alvin Scott at 6'7". And Dandridge working in at 6'6". Dandridge gets it back. Will he go inside? He does. He can leap. Rebounded underneath by Bayard Forrest. 3:20 to go. First quarter of action, 25-13. The lead is 12. Outside, inside, they're going all around. Down Boozy.
No pressure on the basketball that time. Boozy came down and had a wide open jump shot, a good opportunity shot, so he decided to put it up. He's shooting the ball much better now. around 48, 50%.
Boozy and Westfall have accounted for 21 points of the 27. The back line is killing Washington's back line. A foul and a timeout. We have 2 minutes, 57 seconds left to go in the first period. A timeout. And the Phoenix Suns 27, the Washington Bullets 13.
We must transmit the power to our homes and factories. We gotta make the highway safe for folks like you and me. Our cars should be lighter for the most from every mile. We must clean up, recycle, and make the whole world smile. We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
We are helping our community and all communities by recycling junk automobiles in our melting process instead of bringing in virgin iron. 6,000 cars a month is what we recycle here.
Jan Pribble, Foundry Line Supervisor. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
We make quality castings, car parts, GM parts. We can remelt scrap pieces and still get the quality that we're after. Quality to me is what we're here for. It's important that we run quality castings here. It's a must. If you're really interested in staying here, you cannot do enough for the place. That's the way I feel. The people have so much pride. General Motors has been good to them, too.
General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
Just a reminder, CBS Sports offers you the Challenge of the Sexes next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. You'll have an opportunity to watch figure skating, basketball, and midget car racing. Candy Jones against Ken Shelley in the figure skating. And in basketball, Cassie Russell goes against Ann Myers. And Gary Bettenhausen against Mary Hall. Cassie going up against a pretty tough competitor out of UCLA and the younger sister of David Myers.
Well, this is a rubber match for the men and women in basketball, and Cassie's got a great burden on his shoulders. Karen Logan split one with Jerry West and Oscar Robinson, and Cassie's going to see if he can hold it up for the men.
And so, of course, the fourth leading scorer in the NBA last year, Cassie Russell with the Lakers. Matter of fact, I think he led, he was the third best foul shooter in the NBA. So he'll be battling against Ann Myers, three-time All-American. You're watching right now Bob Dandridge at the line. Bobby now is in his 9th year in the NBA. The number 4 draft selection of Milwaukee. Dandridge now 30 years of age. 2 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the first period. 27-15. That's the score. You see Ron Lee in the ball game for the first time, number 30. Alvin Scott, one of the younger players, very quick. And the big guy who played it, the athletes in action schedule is in the middle. Bayard Forrest, a block underneath. Now Washington with the outlet pass from Wes Unseld. Going over to Dandridge. Dandridge double teamed for a moment. Now looks for the open man. Can't find him. Trying to back Boozy in. He has the height advantage.
That is when Bobby Dandridge is most dangerous, when he can break his man down, back him down like that, and then in turn and shoot. He's one of the very good basketball players at playing with his back to the basket. Phoenix has an entirely new lineup in, and again, their thought is going to be to keep as many fresh troops in the game and just wear the Washington Bullets down. The Bullets have a breaking opportunity here.
And, of course, Alvin Hayes got back and makes the play. Curtis Perry took the shot on the other end with 1 minute and 55 left to go in the first period. The lead was 15. It's down 27-19 right now. Phoenix shooting an amazing 72% from the field. Early, the Bullets only 30%. That's Alvin Scott outside with the ball. He's from Oral Roberts, drafted 7th by Phoenix. Curtis Perry in the middle. Curtis takes Elvin in the hole now. They were teammates at one time. Perry, averaging 6, has 2 points. That makes it 29-19. The lead again is 10 for the men in white. That's the Phoenix Suns. Walker on the back line with Wright. Elvin Hayes in the corner is up against Curtis Perry. That's Boozy taking his man in the corner now. Going into the corner on the play was a backliner, and the shot by Dandridge. That's Scott with a rebound. Boozy has it. 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ron Lee. Elvin Hayes. Now Washington brings it back. There's a foul as the pass going from Larry Wright over to Walker, and Walker is fouled by Ron Lee, and they are in the penalty situation, and oddly enough, Washington has only one team foul.
Well, Ron Lee, he's a player that's all over the place. Hercules Unchained, that's the way I describe him, because he is after that basketball at all times. That time, he just got himself out of control and off balance and ran into Phil Walker, but he plays a very physical basketball game, and Mr. Walker is going to think he was in last week's Super Bowl when it's all said and done.
He is all muscle, and to make it even worse, he told me before the game he's studying karate now. Karate, that's all you need to teach Ron Lee is karate. He may tear up the floorboards in some arena here.
Well,
in the
karate
NBA.
is good for quickness.
That's exactly why he's taking it. He said as Don Boozy whacks it in. He feels it'll help his quickness and his coordination, and it might very well do that, Steve. Boozy, a great steal on the play. Boozy brings it up. It's 31-21. The lead is 10 now for Phoenix. Scott bobbles it to Lee. Back over to Bayard Forrest, and it's taken away by Walker. Now bringing it up. Walker goes over to Elvin Hayes. He's got the rhythm, puts it on the floor, but Perry bothered him on the shot, and a foul underneath.
Well, 28 seconds ago, Washington is still playing into the hands of the Phoenix Suns. They are creating some turnovers at the other end, but they're not capitalizing on their end. They're trying to run and break with them, thinking they're going to get easy shots, and Phoenix is basically back. They're going to have to set up and execute. They're going to stay in a basketball game.
This man with the ball led the NBA in assists last year and led the NBA in steals. That's Don Boozy. What an acquisition by Jerry Colangelo that was for Dick Block's club, and it's paid off. He takes his man in the hole. The owner of the Phoenix Suns, sitting to our right, has had a tremendous start this year. This has been the best start for the Phoenix Suns since they started playing basketball.
Well, Don Boozy is not noted for his offense, but he's had a tremendous offensive production so far this quarter. Every player in the professional ranks can score. His eyes have lit up. He's got Larry Wright on him, a small guard who's got a lot of quickness but has no size and really can't match him as he takes him down in deep and just shoots over him.
Boozy was traded from Indiana for Ricky Sobers in September of last year. And so Don Boozy has whacked in 14 points in the game. And it's now 33-21. The lead is 12, enjoyed by, with 2 seconds to go, as a foul is committed, enjoyed by Phoenix. And we should tell you, our officials, number 9 is John Vanek, and the other official is Ed Middleton.
We see Walker has the ball right here. He gives it to Wright. Wright will make a real good basketball play. One dribble, and he gives it right back to Walker, who sees the lane is open and carries it down. All the Suns come to him. There's a foul in there on Alvin Scott, it looks like.
He'll get another. So Walker goes to the line. Walker, a 79.5% foul shooter. Walker on the year, hitting 79% flat. As a collegiate, he shot 79.5, so you know he's a good foul shooter. So that marks the end of the first quarter here in Phoenix. And the score, the Suns of Phoenix 33, the Bullets of Washington 22.
Introducing the Kellys. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Kelly Passenger Radio. From Cumberland, Maryland, the Kelly Truck Tire. From Tyler, Texas, the Kelly RV Tire. From Freeport, Illinois, the Kelly Farm Tractor Tire. From Cumberland, Maryland, the low-cost 4-ply tire.
For whatever driving you're doing, the Kellys have a tire for you. The Kellys. What a lot.
Tough throughout the line. Listen and tough with the Kelly. See what's new today in a Chevrolet.
To the more than 600,000 people who bought the new Chevrolet during its very first year, thank you. You've made it the most popular car in America. For the rest of you, a simple reminder. With its advanced design, the new Chevrolet has more headroom, more rear seat legroom, more trunk room, and more. So drive it. The new Chevrolet. Now that's more like it.
Control is very important in the game of basketball. And control is vital in the game of life, especially when you're dealing with high blood pressure. Right now, I'm having That's the only way to tell if it's high. If it is high, I'll follow my doctor's advice to control it.
It's normal, Tom.
Good. For more information, ask your American Heart Association. I'm Tom Borwinkle. Remember, we're fighting for your life.
An announcement from the American Heart Association in cooperation with the NBA.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. At the end of one period, Steve Jones, we have a 33-22 score. Phoenix leading, and injuries will be a big part of this game. And you see the stats on the first quarter, amazing. We must get in and remind our viewers about the injuries.
Well, you see the bullet shot 29% opposed to 65, and one of the basic reasons is a lot of the bullet shots came up from the outside. They did not get many easy baskets. The Bullets are going to have to find out just how well their 8-cylinder car will run on 6. They've had injuries. Their next 10 of 14 games are going to be on the road, and they're going to have to see who can play. They've had a lot of people that have been complaining about playing time, and rookie Greg Ballard is one of them, and he'll get his opportunity now.
Alvin Adams, you see with the ball. He was their starting center, former Rookie of the Year. Up against Wes Unseld. He's come off 2 weeks of tonsillitis. And a foul on the play in the basket counts. They're calling goaltending against Elvin Hayes, and the Big E is not too pleased at all.
Well, I don't blame Alvin. This one here, the ball, Adams is under pressure from Unseld. Right here, the ball is clearly short. Hayes goes up. It was going to bounce off the front rim. It was not a good rebound by Hayes, but he had a good enough judgment to take it away. And Dick Motta is hot, but that's not unusual for him.
No, Dick Motta, one of the more controversial coaches in the NBA, but a good one. Upset over the call. Larry Wright taking it inside, batted around and grabbed off. Taken away now by the backliner, who's done a good job, Walker. So Walker will try and move it. Phil Walker going over to Ballard. That's their rookie, their #1 draft choice. And Ballard missing the shot. Greg Ballard out of Oregon.
Well, Ballard is very comfortable in this situation. He's playing against another rookie, Alvin Scott, who is the 137th player pick. And would you believe he had to suffer being behind Lucy Harris and Bruce Jenner? Right here you see Ballard. He gets him off his feet. Good pump fake. Leans in and he goes to the line.
So Ballard, their top draft choice, 22 years of age. He was a 3-year teammate of Ron Lee at the University of Oregon.
He's a tremendous all-around player. The only thing I really feel he lacks is a little foot speed, but he's strong, good off the boards, very active, passes the ball well, good outside shooter.
Alvin Adams takes the shot. Ballard took the ball, and you saw Ron Lee try to swipe it away, and out of bounds it goes. Ron Lee, very quick, and one of the top men in steals in the NBA. Ron Lee.
The top man.
Yes, sir.
2.9 steals a game.
#1. Well, that comes to about 3 a game, and he tried to steal it away. Down he goes over the back of Al Bianchi, I believe. John McLeod got out of the way in the brown coat. He's been suffering from the flu. And there's Blinky. He's all right. Hang in there, Al. Al Bianchi gets a good round of applause.
Well, anytime that ball is up for grabs, you can be sure that Ron Lee is going to be somewhere around it. Makes no difference as Alvin Adams comes up with the big steal.
Adams puts his club into the lead with 10:50 to go, 37-24. 13-point spread. Boozy and Westfall, the leading men, 14 and 11 in the first period for Phoenix. And Elvin Hayes at 8. He led Washington. Washington playing, as you know, with only 2 substitutes on the bench in uniform. Walker hitting.
#20, Phil Walker.
Walker now has 5 points, Steve.
That's a good basket by Walker, but the one thing they don't want to do is get into solo efforts. The ball did not move that time, so Phoenix was in a situation, if they missed the shot again, they had the rebounding position, would be able to run, as we have a little confrontation between Mike Bratz and Larry Wright.
So Wright at 6'1" against Bratz at 6'2". Bratz out of Stanford, a rookie, and Wright also out of Grambling. Not too big a man. Both little guys, both aggressive. And now they're barking at each other. Bratz and Wright both barking at each other. I would say that Larry's doing a little more barking.
Well, you know, talk is cheap. And the one thing to avoid a confrontation is to play basketball. Bratz really did not do anything but back away from that situation.
That's Alvin Adams. He has scored 6 quick points. The former Rookie of the Year now makes it 39-26. And the lead is 13 for Phoenix. And a whistle and a foul. Again, away from the ball. Curtis Perry, Ron Lee, Mike Bratz, Alvin Scott in the game for the Phoenix Suns. And coming into the game for the first time, Joe Pace out of Coppin State, #2 draft pick. And Joe's in the ball game and getting his first rest is the big guy.
Well, Unseld is going out. The one thing that Joe Pace can do that Unseld couldn't do is knock shots down and rebound. He's a tremendous sleeper, and he's got a strong inside game. He's a rookie, and sometimes he gets a little bit out of control, but he can dominate inside.
No question about it, Steve Jones, and he's 6'10". That's Adams taking him outside. Ron Lee up in the clouds. He's found in the act of shooting, no basket. He tipped it in, but no basket. Somebody cracked. It would appear Ron Lee on the arm or pushed him. Well, Ron Lee goes to the line. He was the 10th pick of the draft. He was the #1 man, now playing in his second year out of Boston, Massachusetts. This guy really excites you, Steve.
Well, he just plays real hard-nosed basketball. He's not the most talented player, but he is probably one of the most aggressive players in the league. Anywhere the basketball is, that's where he's going to try and be, and he'll do anything to win a basketball game. He's really responsible for turning the Oregon basketball program around.
No doubt about it. Elvin Hayes coming down with the rebound. Ron Lee, a fine all-around athlete, makes it 40-26. The lead is 14. The biggest lead has been 15. It's Phoenix on top of Washington. Walker feeding in the right corner. And up with the two-hand, or rather the one-hand, one guiding it in. That's Bobby Dandridge.
Well, Dandridge is in the backcourt, and he has an advantage. Again, the thing that he does best is take players in low, turn and shoot on them, and that's what he did that time. As Alvin Adams snakes his way around Joe Pace.
Alvin Adams has 8 straight points, and it is 42-28. 9.5 minutes left to go. We're in the second quarter. The NBA on CBS Regional Basketball, and we welcome you aboard this afternoon. I'm Jerry Gross along with Steve Jones, and a foul as Perry bumps into Elvin Hayes. Curtis Perry bumping into him on the play. The Suns leading in the game with 9:17 to go, second quarter. The score is Phoenix 42 and Washington 28.
You're the Pepsi generation.
I never won anything before. Man, it's always the first time.
Come and have a Pepsi day. Come on and make this day a celebration. Come on and join the Pepsi generation. Come on and have a Pepsi day.
We knew throughout the nation as Hertz the superstar. We got the winning combination. Super people, supercars, making that extra effort to meet your special needs. Getting you in, getting you out with super speed. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car. Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
All across our land, people know our brand.
You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
Hear that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Hits!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
We're back here in Phoenix, and next Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, the CBS Sports Spectacular will present the second annual Hollywood Stunt Competition. Marcia Holley, stuntwoman for 5 years, a veteran of some 30 movies, will be competing against 7 men. There'll be steeplechase on horses, motocross, an automobile obstacle course, lots of activity, and Chris Kraft will have Eileen Eaton, Los Angeles boxing promoter, on her segment as you look at Dick Motta and Bernie Bickerstaff on the bench of the Washington Bullets. Washington is trailing in the game 42-28. Lots of injuries, and Alvin Adams has been a big difference here. And Steve Jones, we're going to get into Alvin Adams being out of the lineup, what it means to Phoenix and what it's meant. That's Joe Pace working inside, and Joe goes for 2. It's now 42-30, the lead of 12. And Joe Pace is going to have to stop Alvin Adams underneath. Adams elects to go outside. Rebounded by Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes needs 50 more rebounds to catch up with Elgin Baylor. That's Pace. Joe Pace.
Joe Pace gets a couple of baskets. So again, what Washington is going to have to do more than anything else to get back in the game is control the tempo of the game. They're going to have to make Phoenix shoot tougher shots. Adams had 8 quick points inside. Most of them, he had an easy jumper the last time. They're going to have pressure, defensive pressure, and be very aggressive. They only have 7 players. They've got to let it all hang out.
Elvin Hayes with his favorite shot, missing with a turnaround jump. Rebounded underneath by Alvin Scott. That's Mike Bratz. Bratz going to Ron Lee. Lee goes left-handed for most of the time. That is Scott. Well, they gave the kid time, and the rookie whacked it in.
You know, adversity has a strange way of making teams better teams. And again, Alvin Adams, he missed 12 games. Phoenix Suns won 8 of those 12 games, and they found out that Dennis Autry and Bayard Forest can play in the middle, and they can still win basketball games. So now they have Adams who can go at either forward or center. It gives them a great deal of flexibility, and that's something they wouldn't have found out had he not been sick.
No doubt about it. John McLeod saying before the game, the two things that have made this a better season, one has been the balance and the depth on the bench, and the other has been the ability of the Phoenix Suns this year to improve their passing game. Coming back into the ball game, number 32, Larry Wright. So it is Wright on the back line with Bob Dandridge. Elvin Hayes is in the middle now. He was playing as a corner, and Ballard is in one corner and Pace is in the other. So Pace will play in the right corner defensively. Alvin Adams going over to Bratz. Bratz going inside on a whistle. That was Davis back in the ball game. Fouled, or he stepped out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds, a violation, and here comes Washington.
Right here, you see the ball going over to Bratz. He passes to Davis. He makes a quick move right there. The ball bounced off his leg and out of bounds.
Back into the middle it goes to Bobby Dandridge. He's taking Lee in there. Lee tries to get the offensive foul, doesn't get the call. That's Garfield Hurd over to Davis. Davis making a move, trying to get around, going well, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. Fine play by the rookie.
Foul number 32, Larry Wright. Check that on number 42, Greg Ballard.
Foul on the play, he'll go to the line.
Greg Ballard was the 4th player picked in the draft, and Walter Davis was the 5th player picked. Walter Davis is the candidate along with Marcus Johnson. I really feel as though Walter Davis has an edge because the Suns have really turned around for the Rookie of the Year honors.
I'd say also, Steve, at this point, you'd have to give it to Walter Davis. He has done it all. He's been an 83% foul shooter, averages 6.5 rebounds, good on assists, coachable, and averaging 23.5 per game. He's done it all. We have a whistle away from the ball. 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the second quarter. 47-32. The lead is 15, enjoyed by Phoenix. That'll be the 3rd foul against Ron Lee. 3 fouls on Ron Lee.
Ron Lee
is out of the game.
He's just very aggressive, and he's doing all he can to keep Bobby Dandridge from getting the spot that he wants to get in an offensive position, which is good defense, but he got caught that time.
Phoenix is in 2nd place in the Pacific Division. Washington battling for 1st place. A game back of San Antonio prior to today. Loose ball and picking it up and hustling on the play, Greg Ballard.
Bad shot by Larry Wright. They were fortunate enough to get that ball back.
Davis missing the shot, and Bratz gets it and travels. John Vanek making the call as the trail referee. The fans don't like it. We're going to have a timeout for Phoenix. So it's 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Jerry Gross and Steve Jones here, and it's 47-34 Phoenix.
These 1,700 one-gallon gas cans reach up to the highest suspension bridge in the world, demonstrating just one advantage of the new Chevy Chevette. If the car you drive now has an average EPA combined city highway mileage estimate of 17 miles to a gallon of gas, and you switch to a Chevy Chevette with its higher mileage, you might save up to this much gas, as much as 1,700 gallons over 5 years of normal driving. 1,700 gallons, enough to reach from the bottom of Royal Gorge to the bridge above and then some.
Energy for a stronger America.
Last year, Exxon launched the world's tallest offshore oil platform. Today, off California's coast, it's opening America's really deep waters as a source of energy for the first time. From its deck over 900 feet above the ocean floor, drilling crews have begun work. And soon, 28 wells here will be producing oil and gas where none could be produced before. A new source of energy for a strong America.
Now comes Miller time. You've turned a dangerous ledge of new powder into a harmless pile of snow. Now's the time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Alan Arkin stars in The Defection of Seamus Kudirka, a true story of one man's fight for freedom. Monday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
We're back here in Phoenix. Jerry Gross along with Steve Jones, and down to my right, 2 people down. You see with the glasses, Dick Block. He is the owner of the Phoenix Suns, and he's quite happy because his club is leading 47-34. The team in white is Washington, and outside, whacking that one in. Greg Ballard showing you something there, Steve.
Well, Ballard, again, is a tremendous player who just has not gotten a chance to play. Now is his time to shine. And, of course, he's playing against Walter Davis, and in that situation, Davis feels as though he's the vet because he's played all year long.
That's Paul Westphal back in the game, knocked away by Bobby Dandridge, but a foul called against Washington. And now Greg Ballard has 6 points in the game. He is high man in the quarter for the Washington Bullets. Foul called against Dandridge, his second, and Paul Westphal goes to the line. And Westphal has just been named as one of the starting guards for the Western Conference, along with David Thompson, who had a whale of a game and a losing effort today. We watched here in Phoenix on CBS, Steve.
Oh, David Thompson has had a tremendous year all year long. He's shot 54%. There's some from the outside, and most of his shots have come from the outside. Westphal is shooting 50% himself. There's some confusion about that last foul, but Phoenix takes it out on the side.
Westphal wanted to go to the line, but it's only the 4th team foul, so it is not a shooting foul. And so he comes back and gets 2. Paul Westphal.
He doesn't need to go to the line.
No doubt about it. 13 points for Westphal, one of the starting guards for the West, and Bill Walton will be in the center there. Big struggle underneath, and Elvin Hayes hustling, drops it through. Elvin with 5:50 to go. We're in the second quarter. Makes it 49-38, the lead of 11 points for Phoenix. That is Davis trying to go inside with it. Stolen away, stolen back, down to the floor. 2 players fighting for it. Don Boozy. Also, looks like Larry Wright had his finger on it. Went out of bounds, last touch by Phoenix.
A little scramble for the ball. Again, there's plenty of time left in the game. There's 5:46 left in this period, but Washington has to get control of themselves and the game, and the way to do it is to slow the Phoenix Suns down. Make them play some defense.
Bob Dandridge trying to work on Boozy. He'll try and take him inside, working as a guard because of the injuries to Washington. Ballard and Autry with the rebound. Westphal with 5:19 to go. We're in the second quarter of action in Phoenix. Garfield Hurd, the veteran, with that sweatband on his head. That's Davis trying to go right to left. It hangs and doesn't go, doesn't get the call, and Elvin Hayes with a rebound. Over to Bobby Dandridge. Westphal goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Now he does get it. So Westphal bats it over to Boozy, and Boozy scores.
That also happens when you take a fish out of water, and Bobby Dandridge is not really used to handling the ball in the backcourt. They applied some pressure to it. He coughed the ball up. He should have passed the ball in that situation as soon as he met the pressure.
Westphal this week was 8th in steals in the NBA. Just showed you why there. That's Westphal again. His club leading by 11, 51-40. Davis up against the other rookie, makes his move and pulls up on him. Walter Davis, who prefers to be called Walt, has 9 points in the ball game. 16 for Don Boozy. He's the high man. And Westphal has 13, and Phoenix leads by 13 points. Wright with a more deliberate style, working on the back line with Bobby Dandridge. That's Ballard and Pace, and in the other corner it is Elvin Hayes. Pace making the shot. No whistle on the play.
Well, Pace got that one down. Westphal was on the ball, but that's not really a good shot. They get the shot down, but it's a shot from the outside. He's a big man shooting from out there. They have no rebounding and a chance to get a second shot.
And the lead is 11 again as Westphal. Autry. Davis. Remember, there's no 24-second buzzer for the players to watch. Now there is. It is working on the floor. So they can see now and don't have to rely on the PA man. Hurd missing inside, and a foul called against Phoenix. Foul called against Phoenix. The forwards selected in the Western Division, Maurice Lucas and Rick Barry, Steve Jones. Not too much of an argument there, I would imagine.
You know, they every year they have some kind of controversy surrounding the All-Star game. It's a situation where the players that are playing well at that particular point in the season are generally the ones that get selected. I think it's a great honor.
So it'll be Lucas and Barry and Thompson and Westphal and Walton. All of them representing the West. We'll talk about the Eastern Conference, but right now going to the foul line, that is Greg Ballard.
Well, this young man needs some oxygen. He needs some help. Fatigue, rigor mortis, whatever you want to say, has jumped on his back. He's very tired.
Yeah, a nice visit with you before the game. What's his attitude like, Steve?
Oh, he's just really an unselfish player. He just wants to play. I think he wants to be as good a pro as he was as a collegiate at the University of Oregon.
And he was a good one there. He's out of Los Angeles. It is now 53-44. And Washington is still hustling. Elvin Hayes has done a good job on the boards. Goes over to Larry Wright. And Wright cuts the gap with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's down to a 7-point lead. You never know in pro basketball. Last year, New Orleans came in here. They had a taxi accident, and Phoenix led up, and New Orleans won the ball game.
Well, of course, a year ago, Phoenix was suffering all kinds of blues. They had all kinds of injuries. Hurd, Adams, Perry, you go on down the line, and they were just decimated with injuries, and it was easy for them to give up in a basketball game.
They hung right in there. 15 points now for Westfall. Garfield Hurd struggling with Elvin Hayes underneath. Looks like Elvin might have been on him. And a timeout after a foul is called. 2:51 to go, second quarter, the score. Phoenix 55, Washington 46.
Like your GM car?
Yeah.
Want to keep that great GM feeling?
We sure do.
Then shake hands with Mr. Goodwrench. He's dedicated to improved customer care at more than 6,000 participating GM dealers.
You want genuine GM parts. You want your car fixed right, on time. That's what I want, too. Caring about your GM car helps keep me in business.
Keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
Hi-ho. Your Admiral here to inspect your shipload of values.
Ready for inspection, sir, with outstanding values.
We're offering this automatic ice maker kit free with selected Admiral side-by-side refrigerators.
Roger.
It was Walter, sir.
Roger.
And on Admiral television sets that adapt for remote control, the remote control unit is free, a feature that could cost up to $90 on some other brands.
A shipload of values you can be proud of, lad.
Thank you, sir.
Sale ends February 4th at participating Admiral dealers.
Fred sent in his tax return yesterday. Now he has to wait for his refund check. And wait, and wait. Harry had plans for his refund money. He went to Beneficial, because Beneficial wants to lend you the full amount of the refund you expect, and more, so you can get going now. If you have plans for your refund money, would you rather wait, like Fred, or go, like Harry?
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
In Phoenix, Arizona, 55-46 the score. The Phoenix Suns are leading Washington. Steve Jones, I know you've got your tennis game going, and we have an exciting Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes coming up. CBS Sports presents the premiere Tuesday, January 31st. Celebrities going one-on-one to determine who the real sport is. And we're going to have a great array of talent there. Some fine talent, Steve, in that one.
Buddy Hackett, Susan Summers, William Shatner, Elkie Summer, just to mention a few.
And Jimmy Walker. Reggie Jackson will be there. Bill Crystal, Adrienne Barbeau also. Don't forget, that's an exciting new program debuting on Tuesday, January 31st at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Garfield Hurd makes his first point. He's averaging 7 and goes to the line again. The lead is now 10, make it 11. So Phoenix leads by 11. Second quarter of action. Dick Motta, the coach of Washington. And the fine coach of the Phoenix Suns, John McLeod, suffering from the flu, had to miss a game at Golden State the other night. Al Bianchi filled in, and Golden State won the game in a tough duel. Elvin Hayes backing in, goes to turn and shoot and misses, and it goes off Davis's shoulders and fingers. Hayes battling. Ballard missed the shot, and Forrest gets the rebound over to Westfall. Davis feeding underneath, and a great block on the play. Tremendous play by Wright. Right over to Ballard. Now it's 3-on-2. The rookie has it knocked out of bounds and over the end line it goes. Knocking it out was Garfield Hurd.
That was a tremendous defensive effort by Larry Wright that time, as he just went up and took a wild swat at the ball and knocked it away from Boosie. They got it back. He was a little bit out of control, as they had an excellent breaking opportunity with a 3-on-2, and he just got himself out of control and went too deep in the lane.
So the one-year veteran, Larry Wright, doing a good job. Elvin Hayes on the right side. Battled as Adams out-rebounds Wes Unseld underneath.
Elvin is putting a lot of balls in the air, trying to take up the offensive burden, but a lot of his shots are not good shots for them in this situation.
Adams really hitting the boards. Good second effort. That's Don Boozy. That is Forrest. Bayard Forrest at 6'10", out of Grand Canyon, a rookie. Drafted third by Phoenix, then drafted second the next year by the Sonics, and the Sonics gave him to Phoenix for a number 2 draft pick and cash. That's Ballard. Ballard. Greg Ballard. You see the score. It's an 11-point lead for the Suns of Phoenix with 1:29 to go. We're in the second quarter of action. We'll have some action for you at halftime. Also, Don't forget, Cazzie Russell will be going against Mickey Johnson. That's the horse competition with the NBA on CBS. That's coming up. Westfall. Unseld tries to get the rebound, but Ballard gets it. And with 1:07 to go in the first half of play, the lead is 11. And Washington could cut it down with a bucket here. Got it down inside the 10-point mark, right on the back line with Bobby Dandridge. Dandridge has been taking Boozy inside because he can get the turnaround jump off it.
The Bullets have dribbled the ball a lot. They need to pass the ball and move themselves to get in a position to get these shots. As Ballard knocks another one down. Ballard's a good perimeter shooter, but they are making it doubly difficult on themselves by working so hard one-on-one to get the ball in the air.
Ballard has 14 points with 36 seconds left to go in the first half. Westfall. And Unseld trying to tip it back, but there is Davis. Walt Davis giving it over to Boozy. 27 seconds left to go. There's now 18 on the timer. Let's see what they're going to do with it. They have time to run the clock down.
In this situation, you can do two things. You can lay off and let them handle the ball, or you go out and put pressure on them and make them do something they don't want to do. Dandridge chose to lay back in.
Forrest, who is not the best outside shooter, takes it. And now, with 8 seconds to go in the first half, let's see if they can get a shot off. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. They didn't get it off in time. No basket if it goes. So at the end of the first half here in Phoenix, Arizona, at the home of the Suns, the score is Phoenix 59 and Washington 50. Don't forget Cazzie Russell up against Mickey Johnson. That's the horse program at halftime. You see Dick Motta dejectedly going away. And so we'll have the horse activity coming up, and it's 59-50 here.
A year ago, I reported on the Bell System's commitment to solving business problems. We now have teams of problem solvers for every industry symbolized here. Transportation, retailing, finance, healthcare, education, and many more, for which we've designed communication systems to answer business problems. We're not just designing a symbol for your industry. We're redesigning the Bell System's marketing approach to serve your needs.
If you're planning a business trip, do what more travelers are doing. Call your local Hilton reservation service. We use the unique Hiltron computer, which can tell you lots of things about where you're going. Like the fine restaurants at Hilton, major events in town, what teams are playing, the shops right in the hotel. And oh yes, room reservations too. So call Hilton Reservation Service. It's part of Hilton Rainbow Service.
Let the Hilton Rainbow brighten your day.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like you to try something.
Okay.
Hold out your hand.
Hey, what is that?
That's Track 2 shave cream, and that's another brand. Feel any different?
The Track 2 feels heavier.
That's because the Track 2 is heavier. It's packed with moisturizers.
Moisturizers?
They help hold the moisture in your skin so your face feels good after you shave.
After I
It'll
shave?
feel soft and moisturized.
Great. Wait, what do I do now?
Shave?
Track 2, heavy with moisturizers.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Criqui, and this year at halftime on CBS coverage of NBA basketball, we have some of the top players in the league matched up in the old schoolyard game of horse, where a player must duplicate his opponent's shots or be assessed a penalty letter. 5 misses means 5 letters. That spells horse, and he's out. Today we have Mickey Johnson going against Cazzie Russell, and for more on the rules, here's Mendy Rudolph.
The basic rules of horse are as follows. The player in control must describe his shot beforehand. Now, 2 consecutive shots from the same area are not allowed unless someone moves at least 5 feet away. There are trick shots allowed. However, the same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. A flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, my word will be the final judge.
Cazzie Russell, the #1 draft choice in the NBA 11 seasons ago, must call his shot.
Call your shot, Kaz.
Right-hand hook shot. Right-hand hook shot, says Cazzie.
Right-hand hook shot off the glass.
Now, must be matched by Mickey Johnson.
And made by Mickey Johnson.
Cazzie's now a broadcaster with us on CBS after 11 seasons in the NBA, and here he goes with the left hand.
Left hand off the glass, Mickey. And there's the first letter. Mickey Johnson picks up an H.
Jump shot, top of the key.
Swish jump shot.
Can't do any better than that. Now the whistle, another letter on Mickey.
Mickey Johnson picks up an O. Cazzie Russell in the lead. Okay, Kaz, call your shot.
Jumper, corner.
Corner jump shot.
Goodness.
Mickey Johnson.
Jumper.
Swisher from the top of the key, Mickey.
Cazzie's keeping the heat on with that ace jump shot of his.
Third
another
letter
whistle, another letter on Mickey Johnson.
H-O-R. Cazzie Russell in the lead. Go, Kaz.
Bank is open. Bank shot.
A bank shot. Cazzie doesn't miss. Got to use the backboard. And Mickey Johnson does it.
Big guy stays with him.
Trip, do what more travelers are doing. Call your local Hilton reservation service. We use the unique Hiltron computer, which can tell you lots of things about where you're going. Like the fine restaurants at Hilton, major events in town, what teams are playing, the shops right in the hotel. And oh yes, room reservations too. So call Hilton Reservation Service. It's part of Hilton Rainbow Service.
Let the Hilton Rainbow brighten your day.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like you to try something.
Okay.
Hold out your hand.
Hey, what is that?
That's Track 2 shave cream, and that's another brand. Feel any difference?
The Track 2 feels heavier.
That's because the Track 2 is heavier. It's packed with moisturizers.
Moisturizers?
They help hold the moisture in your skin so your face feels good after you shave.
Right,
It'll
shave?
feel soft and moisturized.
Great. Wait, what do I do now?
Shave?
Track 2, heavy with moisturizers.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Criqui. And this year at halftime on CBS coverage of NBA basketball, we have some of the top players in the league matched up in the old schoolyard game of horse, where a player must duplicate his opponent's shots or be assessed a penalty letter. 5 misses means 5 letters. That spells horse, and he's out. Today we have Mickey Johnson going against Cazzie Russell, and for more on the rules, here's Mendy Rudolph.
The basic rules of horse are as follows. The player in control must describe his shot beforehand. Now, 2 consecutive shots from the same area are not allowed unless someone moves at least 5 feet away. There are trick shots allowed. However, the same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. A flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, my word will be the final judge.
Cazzie Russell, the #1 draft choice in the NBA 11 seasons ago out of Michigan, who has won the flip, and he'll call the lead away. He must call his shot.
Call your shot, Kaz.
Right-hand hook shot. Right-hand hook shot, says Cazzie.
Right-hand hook shot off the glass.
Now, must be matched by Mickey Johnson.
And made by Mickey Johnson.
Cazzie's now a broadcaster with us on CBS after 11 seasons in the NBA, and here he goes with the left hand.
Left hand off the glass, Mickey. And there's the first letter. Mickey Johnson picks up an H.
Jump shot, top of the key.
Swish jump shot.
Can't do any better than that. Now the whistle, another letter on Mickey.
Mickey Johnson picks up an O. Cazzie Russell in the lead. Okay, Kaz, call your shot.
Jumper, corner.
Corner jump shot.
Goodness.
Mickey Johnson. Case.
Jumper.
Swisher from the top of the key, Mickey.
Cazzie's keeping the heat on with that ace jump shot of his.
Third
another
letter
whistle, another letter on Mickey Johnson.
H-O-R. Cazzie Russell in the lead. Go, Kaz.
Bank is open. Bank shot.
A bank shot. Cazzie doesn't miss. Got to use the backboard. And Mickey Johnson does
Big guy stays with him.
Bank shot.
Off the glass. Cazzie misses. And makes, rather.
We're coming to you from the Omni International Complex in Atlanta.
What's going to do, Kaz?
Straight in.
Straight in. And Mickey Johnson straight in.
Straight in.
Cazzie is really keeping the heat on with that jump shot.
Cazzie has an eye. Great streak shooter.
So Mickey is now one letter from elimination.
Cazzie with a jumper just will not miss. Mickey Johnson under pressure now. And that's it. Cazzie closes them out.
So Cazzie celebrates with a little slam dunk, and Cazzie Russell closes out Mickey Johnson 5 letters to none, and Cazzie moves on to the second round of this horse competition. Cazzie, you got him quick.
I had to get to him before he got warm. You know, young guys get warm. Mickey's a good shooter, and I was just trying to get to him early before he got started.
All right, you're a streak shooter, and you had it going today, Cazzie. We'll see you in the rounds to come.
I hope so, Don.
A loser in the first round gets a check for $500. The winner, of course, advances. And next week, you'll be watching Bingo Smith of Cleveland against All-Pro Doug Collins of Philadelphia.
At the conclusion of today's game in each of our NBA telecasts during the season, we will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game. In conjunction with this award, Chevrolet will be presenting a check for $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the Players College or University. Any student may be eligible to benefit from these scholarship funds. Today's winner will be announced at the end of the telecast. Steve Jones, you and I will be voting for the most valuable player. And should we disagree, our fine producer, Howard Wright Snyder, will be casting the deciding vote. The NBA on CBS will return after this word from your local station.
Bob Hope, Alan King, Roy Clark. Just a few of the stars highlighted in the Kraft 75th Anniversary Special. Tuesday night on CBS.
We're back here in Phoenix, Arizona. It is a 9-point lead. Jerry Gross along with Steve Jones. The 9-point lead, of course, belongs to the Phoenix Suns. The fans here are happy, and Washington has a handicap. Steve, if there's any trend to look for, what might we look for in the second half of this one?
Well, first of all, Jerry, Washington is fortunate to be only 9 points back. They have played basically into the Suns' hands of trying to run with them, and they really just don't have the personnel or enough bodies to run with them. I think Phoenix is going to continue to keep the heat on. They're going to try and keep the ball up the court, try and get as many quick opportunity shots as they in the first quarter. They had a lot of layups. They'll try to go back to that. Washington, on the other hand, should try to slow them down. Walk the ball up the court, change the tempo of the game, make them do things they don't want to do, and especially play some defense. Make them play defense for about 20 seconds, and that will change the tempo of the game.
And, of course, Phoenix coming in with a better bench this year. This is the kind of a game that's really right up their alley because they can display their bench strength, and it may, as you have said earlier, just wear down the Washington club.
Well, I said earlier, cars, they make a lot of 8-cylinder cars, and right now, the Washington Bullets are only running on maybe 2 or 4. But again, adversity has a way of finding heroes, and Greg Ballard is getting a chance to play, and he's having a big game. He's come up with a lot of baskets for them. They've been tough baskets. You've got to go back, and again, we said that in the Sun situation when they were injured and Alvin Adams was out, they found a couple of heroes. They found that Bayard Forrest and Dennis Autry could play in the middle, and now they have flexibility where Alvin Adams can go outside against a bigger against the bigger centers, and then he can play forward when he's being overpowered by maybe someone like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or an Artis Gilmore.
And Dick Motto was saying before the game this has never happened to him in his coaching career, which of course was in Chicago with the Bulls. Great success there, and now here with Washington. He's never had a team so decimated by injuries at this time. But Greg Ballard, their #1 draft choice, Bob Ferry talking to me in Los Angeles about him, he feels the kid's going to be a good one. And you may just hit it right on the nose, Steve. He may develop.
Well, Greg is going to get to be a fine pro. The one thing that you have to remember is that if you coach long enough, you can get fired, and you can also have a team decimated with injuries. So, Dick Mata, welcome to the first-time club.
Hope that doesn't go true with announcers, too, Steve. We'll take a look right now at the statistics on the first half as they have come in individually and from a team standpoint as well. So before we move into the second half, you're looking at the team statistics. The advantage going to the Suns by 11 percentage points, and with rebounding, the advantage, oddly enough, goes to the Bullets. Offensively, the rebounding, and defensively, the turnovers, 6 for the Bullets, 6 for the Suns. The Suns have had an excellent year on forcing their opposition to turn the ball over. One of the better clubs. The individual statistics we'll take a look at shortly, but the score right now at the end of the first half, 59-50, Phoenix over Washington.
We're the Van Arsdales, Tom and Dick. We're identical twins, and we drink identical beers. Light beer from Miller. We love it. The best thing about light beer is it's less filling. Great taste. Less filling. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Great taste, Tom. Less filling. And I'm not Tom. You are. I'm Dick. You think you are, but you never were.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Sir, what's the hurry?
Going to rent a car.
Oh, well, you don't have to run.
Gotta run.
Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk.
Walk.
Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car.
I don't have to run through airports?
Not with Avis.
I can walk through airports.
We try hard, Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
What are more people using to help their cars last?
Quaker State Motor Oil.
Sure, Quaker State. Hey, Quaker State.
Quaker State. What are more people using to help them avoid expensive engine repairs?
Quaker State.
Quaker State. What else?
Quaker State.
Quaker State.
Quaker State helps cars last. Maybe that's why Quaker State's the best-selling motor oil in America.
The one-on-one drive to the basket is one of the most exciting plays in pro basketball. I'm John Havlicek, and through United Way-supported Big Sister programs, these young women are experiencing the excitement that comes from a close one-to-one relationship. You're helping to make life fuller for these and thousands of other big and little sisters across the country. Thanks to you, it works for all of us. The United Way.
The preceding public service message has been brought to you in cooperation with the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. The Kellys Springfield Tire Company. The Kellys, they're good and tough. And by light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Back here in Phoenix, the score 59-50 as the Phoenix Suns lead Washington. The individual statistics on the game show clearly that the Phoenix Suns have a lot of balance. They have two men, however, who have done it all on the back line, Don Boozy and Paul Westphal. Westphal 7 out of 13, and Boozy has pumped in 7 out of 10. Paul has played 16 minutes with 15 points, and Boozy 19 minutes with 16 points. So they're the big men there offensively for the Phoenix Suns. And for the Washington Bullets, their offensive statistics individually find two men. Greg Ballard, whom Steve Jones was talking about earlier, their #1 draft choice. He leads with 14 points in 12 minutes, 5 out of 7 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line. And Ballard has chipped in also with 5 rebounds. The leading rebounder is Elvin Hayes with 10 in the ball game for Washington. Elvin also has pumped in 10 points in 24 minutes, 4 for 11 from the field. Also scoring, Bobby Dandridge has 8 points, 3 out of 8. As Washington is trailing in the game, for those of you watching in the Los Angeles area, a reminder that the Los Angeles Lakers will be in action tonight at the Fabulous Forum, as they like to refer to it, in the area there of Inglewood, California. They will be battling in a game this evening against the Houston Rockets. And, of course, next week, Steve Jones, you and I will be observing that Houston club in a game to be telecast regionally by CBS.
Well, the Houston has had all kinds of problems this season, and they're going to have to turn it around. Last year, Central Division champs. This year, Central dwellers. The Lakers also, last year, best record in the league, cellar dwellers. Both teams feel as though they can turn it around in the second half of the season, and the second half of the season should really be a shootout throughout the NBA.
They still have an excellent chance to make the playoffs because of the race that's going on right now in the Pacific Division. And it's well, with the talent they have, and if they can put things together and get over the injuries, I look for Los Angeles to still make a run at them.
Well, there are several teams that could be in it. Los Angeles has enough talent to get in it. One thing that you must remember is that losing is kind of a contagious thing. It's more mental than anything else. Probably the mental aspect of professional basketball is the toughest thing to adjust to. And when you play night in and night out, and some days you get mentally down, you cannot seem to make the big plays at the right moment. The winning teams always seem to do it. Portland is an example of that. They've come up with tremendous efforts when it seemed like they were dead in the water.
Coach Jerry West made the good move the other day, started Don Ford, and he had a whale of a first quarter to explode against the Washington club in a game that we scouted prior to this telecast. We have at the start of the third quarter a 59-50 score on the back line. Don Boozy along with Paul Westphal up against Larry Wright. And the other young man who is on the back line, number 20, is Phil Walker. Walker is the rookie, and Wright, a first-year man, now in his second season with Westphal shooting. Tipped in on a tip dunk by Walt Davis. So Davis, the rookie, now has pumped in 11 points, and Davis on the afternoon has done very well. He is now 5 out of 8 from the field. It is 61-50, the lead of 11. The biggest lead was 15 points. That's Wes Unseld. Garfield Hurd, Don Boozy. Boozy out of Indiana. First time he's ever played out of Indiana. That's Davis.
Walter Davis is very active and probably too active for a very tired Washington team that's been out on the road.
Larry Wright trying to look inside. Very quick. Playing with a bad ankle. Unseld. Going over to Elvin Hayes, who puts it down and gets it. Elvin Hayes from the field is now 5 out of 12, and Elvin Hayes has pumped in 12 points. And it is 63-52, the lead of 11 for Phoenix. Wes Unseld rebounding. Over to Hayes. Will he catch it in time? It hit the end line, hit the sideline, and out of bounds. No basket.
Not a good situation. Wes Unseld throwing the ball to Elvin Hayes, who's not a good ball handler. Even had he gotten the handle on it, there were two men back, he would have had a tough time getting the ball to the hoop. They have got to try to control the tempo, which is not running for them today.
Paul Westphal and Don Boozy on the back line. They swing it over to Walt Davis. Now to Hurd, back to Davis. Great defensive play. Elvin Hayes trying to feed Walker. Walker going in for it. So Walker gets the 2. Walker practically dunking at 6'3". Now Westfall. Back to the pair, and that makes it 65-54. The lead remains 11.
You can't trade baskets with a team when you're behind. They started out 9 down. Now they're up to 2 more, so they're down by 11. They're having a tough time getting the tempo of the game in their favor.
Washington trying to get it in on a tip by Unseld. Autry with a rebound. Autry's baseball pass is picked off by Elvin Hayes. And Wright knocks it out of bounds, and we have Larry Wright almost ending up in the lap here. And Steve Jones, and a foul to be called against Paul Westfall. A foul called against Paul Westfall on the play.
The crowd doesn't like the call. Westfall doesn't like the call. They're in shock. They're going to take the ball out on the side in a timeout.
Why are men switching from aerosol hairsprays to Vitalis Super Hold Pump Spray?
The pump? Because it doesn't spray any aerosol propellants.
The pump? Well, it costs less to use. Save money.
It's because the pump is stronger. Can hold longer than the best-selling aerosol.
The pump. Vitalis Super Hold Pump Spray. Now with an even finer spray. Why don't you switch from your aerosol to...
The pump. The pump. See what's new today.
Chevrolet introduces a new kind of space vehicle, the new size Malibu wagon. It has a new and very convenient 2-way hatch gate and an amazing amount of interior space. You can load the new size Malibu with the tailgate down or with it up, and when you finish loading, there's still ample room for family and friends. Chevy's new size Malibu wagon, it's the kind of friend a modern family can use.
Do you use a separate pot for frying, cooking, and steaming? Well, now there's the new Hamilton Beach Dial-A-Pot. It's 3 pots in 1. Dial fry and it fries up your favorite foods fast and crunchy. Dial steam and it steams up the crispiest vegetables and the most delectable seafood. Dial cook and it cooks up everything from soups that simmer to tasty stews. The new energy-saving Dial-A-Pot. It's 3 pots in 1. A great gift only from the Hamilton Beach Scoville World of Appliances.
Tuesday, join Bob Hope when the stars come out for the Kraft 75th Anniversary Special. Tuesday at 9:30, 8:30 Central and Mountain Time.
We're back here in Phoenix with the score 65-54 and a shot across the way of one of the injuries with Phoenix.
Ira Terrell, he injured himself early in the season, has not gotten a chance to play. His knee is coming back. I spoke with him before the game, and he's looking forward to getting some time in before the season is over.
Elvin Hayes trying to work underneath now with Wes Unseld. Bobby Dandridge working nicely with Unseld. Rebounding it. Elvin Hayes hustling underneath, and out of bounds it goes.
That was a good play. Even though they didn't get the basket down, they moved the ball, they moved themselves, they got another shot at it, and this is what they have to do in order to really get control of the game.
Walker hitting from the left side, guarded on the play by the backliner, going over him. 9 points for Phil Walker. 65-56. The lead is now cut down to 9 points. Boozy and Westfall swinging it around to Davis. Going inside to Garfield. Hurd taken away by Wes Unseld. Unseld over to Larry Wright. Wright trying to make a move. Oh, good action by Westfall on defense. And he grabs the rebound. And that's going to be a backcourt foul against Larry Wright. Larry's lucky he didn't get a call against him for a charge.
Westfall played real good defense that time down. He took a shot again, looking for the opportunity shot, which if they make, it's fine, but basically it's a shot that's going to get them in trouble because they're having trouble making a transition to the other end on the defense. So they've got to work the basketball. They've got to start playing with a little bit more intelligence.
Paul Westfall out of USC, traded from the Celtics, if you recall, with a number 2, actually with 2 number 2 draft picks for Charlie Scott. That has turned out to be a fine trade for the Phoenix Suns.
That was a good trade for the Boston Celtics at the time. Remember, Charlie Scott was on that championship team that year when the Suns and the Boston Celtics played in that historic 3 overtime game.
And, of course, now Charlie's trying to turn things around for the Los Angeles Lakers. 19 for Westfall. We have 8 minutes and 55 seconds to go. Walker missing inside. Walker, good reaction, good hustle. Unseld with it, and Unseld is tied up and perhaps fouled on the play. The lead is 67-56. The lead back up to 11 points.
Well, Davis had worked inside trying to get the ball right in there. You see a lot of bodies flying off of Wes Unseld, one of the strongest in the NBA. They got a loose ball foul, and it's a blue ball out on the side, Washington ball.
I can't believe it.
Of course, Washington wants to get as many baskets as they can, and easy baskets, and a free throw for any of them is an easy basket now because Petit makes cowards of everybody.
Bobby Dandridge going over the top of Walt Davis. 67-58. That's the score. 8 minutes and a half to go in the third quarter. The club in white, that's the Phoenix Suns. They are leading. There are only 2 men on the bench for the injury-riddled Washington Bullets. That's Unseld out rebounding Autry. The outlet going over to Larry Wright. Wright is a good penetrator. Will pull up and shoot outside also. Dandridge going underneath and batted away. Taken away underneath from Melvin Hayes. He gets it back. Triple team. Somebody's going to be open. He finds Unseld in tight, pulling his way past Autry.
Well, that's what you call a man moving a mountain right there. Unseld just put all that weight on Autry and just moved him right out of the way.
That's Westphal banking it in on the side. Oh, Westphal having a superb afternoon. Has wrapped in 21 points. 7 minutes and 55 seconds to go. 69-60. The lead is 9 for Phoenix.
One thing our viewing audience should keep in mind is the way that Washington is getting their baskets. They're having to work very hard for almost every shot. They're getting very few easy baskets. On the other hand, Phoenix is getting down and getting easy opportunity shots. They're moving the ball, moving themselves, and everything is coming much easier for them.
That is the second foul against Westphal on the afternoon. So Westphal trying to steal the ball. Picks up his foul. Now working on him is Walker. And Hurd with a rebound. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The lead is 9. Westphal. Right over the top of Dandridge, and Westphal has 23 points in the game. Now it is 71-60. The lead of 11.
The Bullets again very slow getting back on defense as Wes Unseld takes the shot from the outside. Again, giving the Suns a chance to run.
Here comes Boozy over to Westphal. He goes to the right side this time against Wright. And he is fouled on the play. A blocking foul to be called against Washington.
Phil Walker wanted to play today, but I'm not so sure after this lesson that he is getting from Westphal, whether today was his day or not. He's picked up his 4th foul, but he's being used by Paul Westphal.
So Westphal goes to the foul line. Westphal now in his 6th year in the NBA. Former top pick of the Boston Celtics. Only 27 years of age. He's got a lot of years to go. Had a bad knee. I think he had knee surgery in his senior year, and therefore no Olympics for him when he was in college at USC.
This quarter has existed of 2 things, Westphal and Davis. Westphal has scored the last 4 or 5 baskets for the Phoenix Suns.
He has 9 points in the quarter and 24 points in the ball game. And right now, with 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third period, it is 72-60, the lead of 12 for the men in white. Washington bringing it up. And on that back line, Phil Walker, the number 2 draft pick of Washington, going over to Bobby Dandridge. Dandridge backing Scott in. Back outside, that's Walker. So Walker now gets in double figures. He has 11 points. And the lead is cut down to 10 points. Boozy bringing it in. Autry all alone. A lot of room for the veteran.
Oh, it's too easy for the Phoenix Suns right now. Washington is trading baskets, but the Suns are moving the ball around the perimeter, getting almost any shot they want to anybody. Autry that time taking a jumper, which he normally wouldn't take.
Scott trying to get the ball up. That kid is playing with a bad ankle. Larry Wright. Wright trying to get a shot away. And it hangs. Now it is 74 Phoenix, 64 for Washington with 6 minutes and 22 seconds of basketball left in the third quarter. Westphal going to Hurd. Now they swing it over to Autry. Dennis Autry with a hot hand outside out of Santa Clara. Autry had 6 points. Steve, his average 4.
Excuse me, Dennis Autry is just going to get some. Everybody else is getting some, so he feels as though he may as well get in the act. And he's shooting shots again. Those are shots he wouldn't normally take, but there's no pressure on him, so he's putting the ball up. And again, Phoenix maintains their 12-point lead.
The Kellys have a way to save gasoline from the ground up. A steel-belted radial called the Kelly Gas Pincher. When we tested a set of gas pinchers against our non-radials, the gas pincher pinched from 14.5 up to 31.7 more miles out of a tank of gas. That's hundreds of ball miles a year with the gas pitchers.
Je m'appelle Boum Boum Chaffrion.
Je m'appelle Jacques Tante.
Nous sommes tous deux des anciens joueurs de hockey.
Et nous buvons la bière light de Miller.
Oui, nous buvons light parce qu'elle a 1/3 moins de calories que leur bière régulière. Elle est moins rassasiante.
Non, nous la buvons parce qu'elle a un goût magnifique.
Un moins rassasiant.
Goût magnifique.
Un moins rassasiant.
Goût magnifique.
Sacré bleu.
Imbécile.
You believe this guy?
Tu chavires.
Mais t'es un fou.
Passe la
The beer like the Miller. Tout ce que vous désirez d'un bière, et moins.
The Dutch Masters buyers are in France for the international auction of rare African Cameroon tobacco. There are two secrets they must keep to win some of the best leaf for Dutch Masters. The exact leaf they want and the price they'll pay.
It's a nice color.
When their bid is opened by the French auctioneers, they'll learn if they've won some of the best.
Acheteur Dutch Masters.
Taste the taste the world competes for in a Dutch Masters Cameroon cigar. There really are masters at Dutch Masters.
Dennis Autry at 6'10", 235 with a little stunt there right here in Phoenix, Arizona, which reminds us to remind you the second annual CBS Sports Spectacular Hollywood Stunt Competition comes up next Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. We invite you to join us. There'll be a steeplechase on horses, an automobile obstacle course, motocross. Ken Squire and actor Bo Bridges will be there. Jack Whitaker will have a commentary. And Chris Kraft visits with Eileen Eaton, the LA boxing promoter. Should be quite a very exciting afternoon next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. That's Larry Wright moving it in against Don Buzzi, who is bigger and heavier. Wes Unseld going over Dennis Autry. They are really fighting and coming back. It is now the 10-point lead, 76-66. Using to crack, they are bending but not breaking at the moment in the third quarter with 5.5 minutes left to go. Alvin Adams back in the ball game. Ron Lee back in the ball game. How do you do, Ron Lee? First field goal, 3 points for Ron Lee, averaging 13.5, 78-66. The lead is 12. Washington with the ball. Bobby Dandridge, rebounded by Ron Lee. Don Buzzi. Buzzi showing he can do it inside and outside, has 18 points. He had 14 in the first quarter. Now it is 80-66.
Excuse me, Jerry. Notice how slowly now the Washington Bullets are moving up and down the court, offensively and defensively. They are beginning to feel that early effort of trying to run with the Phoenix Suns, who have brought in fresh troops. Again, they have Scott, Adams, and Autry up front, with Lee and Buzzi in the backcourt, and another shot comes up from the outside, and another chance to run for the Phoenix Suns.
Alvin Scott at 6'7". Now trying to move the ball. Finally it comes up to Ron Lee. That's Buzzi driving on right. Big game by Scott. That's Scott. Oh, what a play by the kid.
Now this time they can say like they used to say in Phoenix, great Scott. He really put the top on that one.
At 6'7", 185 pounds, Alvin Scott really electrified him here. That makes it 82-66. The lead is 16, the biggest lead of the ball game for Phoenix. Outside, Ron Lee. They just keep coming at you off the bench. A timeout has been requested here in the third quarter by Dick Motta, who is watching the roof fall in on him with his assistant coach, Bernie Bickerstaff. And you see Washington going back to the bench. They're trailing with 4:11 to go in the third quarter, 84-66.
Chevrolet announces a lot more Chevette for a lot less money. New Chevette standard equipment includes a radio, reclining bucket seats, white wall tires, console, sports steering wheel, a 1.6-liter engine, 18 new standard features in all, plus a wide hatch, carpeting, front disc brakes, rack and pinion steering, and more. The 78 Chevy Chevette. A lot more car for a lot less money.
Well, the weather up here is tough on everything.
Oh, you kind of feel good that you have a diehard.
You need a good battery in the city of Anchorage.
In Anchorage, they buy more diehards than any other battery.
I think the diehard was probably designed with Anchorage in mind.
Yeah, we depend on the diehard.
Turns that motor over just fantastic.
And so far, Sears diehard battery has been a good battery for me.
The diehard, with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't.
Turn the key over and it goes, you know that?
Sold only at Sears.
What are you waiting for?
Right now, save $50 on a color TV from Sears.
What are you waiting for?
It's on sale for just $339.95. You get a 19-inch Super Black Matrix picture tube for bright, crisp colors, automatic fine-tuning, and a solid-state chassis, all for $339.95. You save $50 at Sears. So, what are you waiting for?
That lovely young lady reminds us to remind you about CBS Sports and the Challenge of the Sexes. That'll be next Sunday, Steve Jones, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. We have 4:11 to go, 84-66, third quarter. Andy Jones and Ken Shelley in figure skating and basketball with Cassie Russell. Wiped out Mickey Johnson today, going against Ann Myers. Midget car racing as well. In the corner, Larry Wright making it 84-68. The Sons of Phoenix leading, and Ron Lee trying to move up against Bobby Dandridge. Knocked down on the play is Lee. There's no whistle. Unseld with the rebound, stolen by Lee. Lee and Adams. Unseld again with the rebound. He'll try it once more. Larry Wright coming up with a 4-on-3 break. Bobby Dandridge. Scott rattles it around the boards. That's Greg Ballard in, looking for a pro high. Tipped in by Elvin Hayes.
Lots of action. We see the one time after the timeout, Washington came out. They worked the basketball. They got a good shot. They made Phoenix play some defense. Then they came right back down and put the ball out from the outside quickly again, giving the Suns a breaking opportunity.
Alvin Scott just dropped that one in. The young man making it 86-70, the lead of 16.
16 points is not a great lead to overcome. There's plenty of time left. There's 3-2 left in this period. They've just got to get control of themselves and play with a little bit more intelligence. It sounds like we're beating that horse into the ground, but that's what they have to do if they want to win the basketball game.
Steve, that is the fourth team foul called against Phoenix. Of course, on the fifth, you're in trouble and the penalty situation is invoked. There are only 2 called against Phoenix. It is 2:57 left on the clock, 86-70 the score. All the action in Phoenix, Arizona, as the Suns are leading the Bullets in a battle away from the ball and a foul up against Ron Lee. He's trying to muscle Dandridge inside, who can go up and over him if he takes him down low.
Well, he's just trying, again, to keep him from getting that offensive position down and low. That's a good defense by him, but again, he's getting just a little bit too aggressive, and he picks up his 5th foul. But it makes a little difference. They have plenty of troops to bring in. Mike Bratz just comes in to substitute for him. What they'll try to do is keep good defensive pressure on the basketball and make Washington take tough shots.
No question about it, and at the foul line scoring on his first is Bobby Dandridge. He hit 79.5%. Unseld with a rebound to Elvin Hayes. Larry Wright now looking for the ball from Bobby Dandridge. Doesn't get it. That's Greg Ballard going for a pro high. He is short with it. He needs 2 more points to get his pro high. He now has pumped in 14. He goes back on defense, and Alvin Adams overshoots the mark with an air ball. Hayes with a rebound to Wright. Wright trying to go against the man he was arguing with in the first half, Mike Bratz. Bratz has the ball.
Again, you have a one-man break situation. Larry Wright is a 1-on-3. He shoots the ball from the outside, and Phoenix comes back. They get the ball up, but they've got the lead.
The lead is 15 for Phoenix. Larry Wright of Washington has it. Elvin Hayes. Elvin going toward the hoop with success. 16 big ones for the Big E.
The one thing you have to do if you're on the Washington Bullets is make sure that Elvin Hayes stays involved in the basketball game. He's an offensive player, and when his offense is good, the rest of his game picks up. He's not really had to handle the ball that much in the second half, and most of his tries have been difficult ones.
Scott going inside, taking the smaller man. Missing the shot. Bayard, Forrest, and Adams can't hang on to it. Bratz gets it. That's Adams. Forrest keeps it alive, and a foul against Alvin Adams as he knocks to the floor Bobby Dandridge, and that will be a shooting foul.
Blue ball foul on number 33, Alvin Adams, his first.
Washington has lost all 3 games on this road trip. They were beaten by Buffalo, by Golden State, and Los Angeles. On the other hand, Phoenix has won 6 of their last 7.
Right there, you'll see Adams crashing and trying to get another shot. They got 3 shots at the basket that time. They end up with the foul. The coach likes to see that kind of effort on the offensive end, especially when he has a lead like this.
Bobby Dandridge now gets the penalty shot, a 1-on-1 situation with 1:39 to go. You see the average of Bobby Dandridge. He was a free agent, picked up, as Steve told you, by Washington this year. Played 3 All-Star games. 8 years at Milwaukee. Now he has 12 points in the game. Dandridge averaging 18.5 makes it 86-74. The lead is 12 for Phoenix. Westfall has had a field day this afternoon. And Elvin Hayes with a rebound. Larry Wright goes to Ballard. Almost travel on the play, and the locals thought he did. It's 4-on-5 as Elvin comes back on offense now. Dandridge backing in the little guy. Bratz misses, tipped up by Unseld, no good. Dandridge with a rebound. Dandridge with 3 men on him. And a whistle and a foul called against Phoenix.
Well, notice, all of the bullet shots are falling just a little short. Bobby Dandridge has been online on his last 2 or 3 shots, but they've all been off the front rim. You'll see the ball goes up here. Dandridge has control. Scott trying to get himself out of the way, accidentally runs into Dandridge. But Dandridge has missed free throws, and that's a sign of fatigue. He's missing the ball short.
The Bullets a little weary. 13 points for Bob Dandridge. Gets his 14th with 1:11 to go in the third quarter in Phoenix. 86-76. The Washington Bullets hanging on. The Phoenix Suns trying to wear him into the ground. Forrest does not shoot well out there. Looking for help inside to Alvin Adams, one of the better passing centers in the league. He's fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll go to the line and get 2. So the reason they are roaring now, we'll tell you about it after we watch this.
Well, they're saying it's about time. The Phoenix Suns just have not gotten that many calls. Everything seems to have gone for the Washington Bullets, but they need all the help they can get.
Bayard Forrest is a 40% foul shooter, and he's not at the line. It'll be Alvin Adams. So Alvin Adams goes to the line. Adams, who has been out 2 weeks with tonsillitis. Team won 8-4 without him, which gives you an idea what kind of balance they do have this year. He now goes for his 10th point. Adams averaging 16, has 10, 88-76. A lead of 12 with 53 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Washington moving to your right. Larry Wright with it. Trying to go baseline, can't do it. Westfall is denied in the baseline most of the afternoon. Unseld feeding Elvin Hayes underneath. Elvin with 18 points. Good pass by Unseld.
They can get that shot anytime they want it. They move the basketball. Hayes has position inside. That's what they have to work for. If they do that, they can slow the Phoenix Suns down.
Bratz moving well, scores, and he's fouled in the act of shooting by Larry Wright at 6'1". Bratz at 6'2". Formerly of Stanford, took him inside.
That's the count by Mike Bratz.
You'll see beat to the position. Most players, once they get a man down and deep, have an opportunity to score over them. You have to deny the position. That means you have to be between the ball and the passer.
That was Wright's 4th foul. They made a correction on an earlier foul. Bratz with a 3-point play, and it's 91-78, 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter. On the timer right now, 14 seconds to shoot. Westfall against Wright. At the high post, Unseld against Forrest. Alvin Adams in the left corner. Guarding Elvin Hayes, who looks really beat. He's really tired. He's played all the way. Wright trying to go in toward him is double team. Elvin has it. He beat the 24-second buzzer. 2 seconds to go. 1 second. It'll count if it goes. It didn't go. Westfall had a shot at it. And that's the end of the third quarter in Phoenix, Arizona. The score, the Suns of Phoenix 91. The Bullets of Washington 80.
Come on, it's the Pepsi way. Come on and have a Pepsi day. You found a place to celebrate. Pepsi's cold food is great. Come on and have a Pepsi day. You're the Pepsi generation. The Pepsi day.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. Edith's elderly aunt pays a visit, and it may be permanent, leaving Archie in a stew on All in the Family tonight on CBS.
Phoenix Suns fans enjoying the game. Everybody's revved up here, Steve Jones, as Phoenix is up. Want to remind those watching, be sure and stay tuned for the MVP award at the conclusion of the game. 12 minutes of action remaining, 91-80. Phoenix leading Washington. You're watching the Bullets. Larry Wright bring it up with Bobby Dandridge. You say, why is Dandridge there? Because Phil Chenier, Tom Henderson, Kevin Greavy, and Mitch Kupchak are all not playing this afternoon. The Bullets with a long line of injuries. Stealing it away, Mike Bratz. Bratz bringing it up over to Paul Westphal. Feeding inside. No basket. Perry traveled before he took it and scored.
Well, Curtis Perry did travel that time down, but again, they had an easy 5-foot jumper inside. The Bullets were working real hard to try and take advantage of the mismatch. The ball, they could not get the ball to Dandridge on that side. They should have just swung it around the other way and let him have the position on the other side.
Wright, who does have 4 fouls, feeding inside, and a whistle as the ball goes out of bounds, knocked out by Paul Westphal. There were a lot of other games in the NBA. While we have a chance during the play-by-play, let's take the time to give you some of the other scores. Meanwhile here with Greg Ballard going for his pro high. I believe he was fouled in the act of shooting. He was, and he goes to the line. If it is in the act, then he'll get 2. Today, in overtime, New York defeated Denver 143-141. Boston was beaten by Lenny Wilkins' amazing Seattle Supersonics 106-95. Seattle in 3rd place now. Kansas City defeated New Jersey 105-9. And we'll give you the other scores as we march along here in Phoenix with a 91-81 score. The lead is 10 for the men in white. The Suns going over to Paul Westphal. He's taken Dandridge outside. Rebounded underneath by Dandridge and Curtis Perry. And a foul there. The other scores in the NBA, Philadelphia beating Golden State 99-87. Cleveland over Atlanta 93-89. Detroit lost to New Orleans. New Orleans is hot 100-97. San Antonio rolls along. They knocked off Portland 106-95, and Milwaukee beat Chicago 112 to, I believe, 90. Those are final scores in the NBA. Houston at Los Angeles tonight and Buffalo at Indiana tonight. And this one, with 11:04 to go in the 4th period, 91-81, the team in white uniform, that team is Phoenix, they lead. Davis trying to go for 2, Walter Davis, and the rebound to Elvin Hayes. Elvin has a ton of rebounds this afternoon. Walker now trying to make a move to Unseld underneath as Bayard Forrest leans on him. Dandridge to Ballard. Walker has it knocked away off his hip. Davis picks it up. A bucket there would have cut it down to 8. Elvin Hayes has 15 rebounds.
He has 15 rebounds, but he's having a real tough time getting into the offense. He's walking around, chasing the ball out on the perimeter when they need him down in deep. And they get a charging foul on Bayard Forrest, and Al Bianchi and John McLeod, they're up in arms along with the Phoenix Suns fans.
So Bayard Forrest commits the offensive foul. It not only takes 2 points away from Phoenix, but you look up now at a 10-point lead. And you know, you get into this game now, and Steve Jones, anything can happen.
Well, anything can happen, but again, Washington really hasn't had control of the tempo, even though Elvin Hayes buried that shot. They've had to make very tough shots, and I would be surprised if Phoenix let this game really get away from them.
Hayes now has 22 points, and he gets the rebound. 16 for him, and Ballard goes. Walker tips, and Walker scores. So it is suddenly a ball game. 91-85, and hang on to your hats. The lead is only 6 points. 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go in this basketball game, and Washington has refused to quit. And Al Bianchi is furious over a lack of a call. Not going the right way for his club. 10-3 to go in the ball game.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is
Well,
kind of special.
tomorrow we go back to civilization. And let's have a last night in the wilderness party.
Yeah, I've got just what we need.
So tonight.
Hey, Roland Brown, you've been hiding that all week. I was waiting for the right moment.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrau.
Well, like the song says, here's to good friends.
Let it be Lowenbrau.
This is the world's most revolutionary telephone switching invention. We call it Super Switcher. It handles 4 times more calls and may save us $1 billion a year. Just imagine that each of these cars is a long-distance call. Super Switcher could handle 5 days' traffic on a busy LA freeway. That ought to prevent traffic jams on your long-distance calls.
Bell System Technology, keeping your phone system the best in the world.
See what's new today in Chevrolet.
Chevy's all-new Malibu has all kinds of good news for here and now. Good news about fuel economy. 29 miles per gallon here on the highway, 21 here in the city. It's here and now. There's also good news about room here on the inside, here in the trunk. It's here and now. The all-new Malibu. It's here at your Chevy dealers now.
The NBA on CBS continues next Sunday. Regional games, Los Angeles against Washington, Philadelphia, Denver. Cleveland goes against Detroit, and Houston will be at Portland. Steve Jones and myself will be watching the Trailblazers. We urge you, wherever you are, to check your listings for the NBA on CBS next Sunday. We have a ball game here. 9 minutes and 59 seconds left to go. 91-85. Phoenix is leading. Forrest going over to Walter Davis. Rebounded by Walker. Here comes Washington. They're down by 6. They trailed by as much as 16 in the ball game. Unseld blocked brilliantly by Forrest. Don Buzzi. West ball. Right-handed. He can go right or left-handed. He guarded his body with the right hand as he stuck his back toward the defensive player. 9.5 to go, and it's 93-85. So the lead was 6. They brought it back up to 8. West ball with a steal. All alone. Davis should dunk the ball. No, he doesn't elect to.
Well, 2 points is 2 points, Jerry. Whether it's a grand slam or otherwise, it comes out the bottom the same way. Notice the Suns putting pressure on by running the basketball, getting easy shots. Washington Bullets again struggling, trying to get the ball inside it and having to settle for the outside shot. And the Suns have really begun to apply defensive pressure. They're getting help all over the ball. Westfall swarmed the last time to knock the ball out of Walker's hand. This time Walker went inside, and Davis came over and knocked it loose.
Curtis Perry blocking that one out of bounds, I believe, or Davis. Someone had a hand in it. Nonetheless, here comes Walker inbounding it. Bobby Dandridge too deep, and the rebound taken away by Paul Westphal. Westphal is 11 for 22 and has 4 steals, and Westphal has 26 points. Davis intercepted, taken away by Dandridge. Dandridge with contact, trying to get the offensive foul. Westphal doesn't get it, knocked out of bounds by Boozy.
Bobby Dandridge probably should have given that ball up. They had a 2-on-1 situation. He pounded it just a little bit too long. He goes right by Westphal right there. Now he has a man open to his left, but he doesn't give the ball up as Curtis Perry hustles back.
Dandridge trying to bring it back to 8, does. So it is now 95-87 with 8.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of time. Washington hoping to draw on some reserve. That is reserve with the men on the court because they only have 2 men on the bench to substitute. Don Boozy going over to Walter Davis. The kid now has rammed in 17 points. 23.5 is his average. Bobby Dandridge with his club trailing 97-87. 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Fine pass by Unseld.
That's a play that they should try to work a good deal more in this period. They're staying close in the ball game. 7:59 left in the game. Try to get Elvin Hayes inside. Make the Phoenix Suns play some defense.
24 points for Elvin Hayes. Davis driving, runs over a man, shoots and scores, and they say he's fouled, and Unseld is unhappy as Ed Middleton makes the call, and Wesley is a little upset. The basket counts.
Do you know anyone that's happy about a foul? Right there, Walter Davis made a good move past Ballard, who's suffering from rigor mortis and all kinds of other physical ailments because he just run out of gas.
Now Davis goes to the line. Walter Davis gets the three-point play. It is a big one, and so it's now 100-89. 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the game. Washington in the blue uniforms, bringing it up. Abe Collins' team has done a fine job considering the injury situation. Now Elvin Hayes running a little out of gas on that one as Westphal comes up with it. Westphal feeding off Alvin Adams. Rebounded by Wesley Unseld. Unseld hitting Larry Wright with 7:24 to go. 100-89. There it is, a new professional high for Greg Ballard. He has 17 points, a new pro high for the kid from Oregon. Westphal. Westphal shooting 50%. He has 28 points in the game. 102-91, fourth quarter. Right, handing off. Ballard twisting, turning. A little strong. Elvin Hayes was belted as he grabbed the rebound. Rebounded by Dennis Autry. Autry is fresh, should be able to play the last 10 minutes. And play well. Westphal. Again, Westphal. Oh, he's broken their back. 30 points for Paul Westphal. 6 minutes and 45 seconds of basketball left. They are standing here in Phoenix. The score, the Suns 104, the Bullets 91.
This signal is searching for a General Electric VIR color TV. The signal's VIR. It lets broadcasters automatically control the color of your TV picture on many programs. Watch this GE VIR set use the signal and automatically adjust flesh tones, background colors, the entire color picture. VIR. And General Electric has just won an Emmy for being the first to use VIR in television sets. This is GE Performance Television.
Guilty. Not guilty. 6 votes guilty, 6 votes not guilty.
Father, Jim.
It could go on all day. Bailiff! Pass out the Right Guard deodorant.
Good.
We got stick or spray. Right Guard deodorant has all-day odor protection. Kills bacteria that can cause odor. Stick or spray protects all day. 6 took stick, 6 took spray.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like you to try something.
Okay.
Hold out your hands.
Hey, what is that?
That's Track 2 shave cream, and that's another brand. Feel any different?
The Track 2 feels heavier.
That's because the Track 2 is heavier. It's packed with moisturizers.
Moisturizers?
They help hold the moisture in your skin so your face feels good after you shave.
After I
It'll
shave?
feel soft and moisturized.
Great. Wait, what do I do now?
Shave?
Track 2, heavy with moisturizers.
Next Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports presents the PGA Tour's Andy Williams San Diego Open. With Tom Watson heading a strong field. That's next Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Back here in Phoenix, 6:45 left to go. Paul Westphal is the leading scorer in the game, Steve Jones. And he now goes to the line. No, he's going to be on defense, and here's the way he got his last 2 points.
Well, he hasn't had any defensive pressure on him. He's too good an outside shooter to have free reign like that, and that's what he's had the entire second half.
We're ready to go with Elvin Hayes double team now, looking for the open man. Adams on him, and so is Westphal. That's right. Rebounded up and rebounded in by Bobby Dandridge, who refuses to quit, and it's 104-93. The lead is 11.
You work that hard to stay as close as they have. They have getting double teamed, but they're not moving the ball when the pressure is met. Elvin Hayes held the ball a little bit too long that time. Larry Wright had to take a tough try, and luckily they got a follow inside.
Walter Davis trying to move. He gets the bounce. Walter Davis has had a good game. Good second half. He's got 22 points. In the first quarter, Don Boozy and Paul Westphal really wiped out Washington. As between them, they scored 25 of the 33 points. And for all practical purposes, that first quarter was a big factor. That's Ballard beating Elvin Hayes. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the game, 106-95.
Still time for the Washington Bullets to get back in the basketball game, but they have to put pressure on shooters like Davis and Westphal. They cannot give them free reign.
Elvin Hayes with his 18th rebound, pushed to get it, but no whistle. And a violation called against Washington. The Washington bench, Dick Motta and Bernie Bickerstaff, John Lally, their trainer, a little glum right now. On the other hand, Al Bianchi and John McLeod, the coaching staff of Phoenix, they are a little happy with 5:14 to go, 106-95. Dennis Autry. Autry hit 2 or 3 outside earlier. The ball is loose and Don Boozy has it. Boozy has been a big difference for this club this year. What a move that was by the front office.
Well, it was a good trade for both teams. They needed someone who was not quite as vocal and not quite as offensive-minded as Ricky Sobers was, and they got Don Boozy. He's more of a selfless player and fits more in with their scheme of things here in Phoenix. And Indiana, on the other hand, got a player who had some offensive ability with a little bit more quickness.
Alvin Adams was fighting the 24-second clock. And here comes Washington with 4.5 minutes to go. 106-95. They're down by 11. Elvin Hayes double-teamed, hits Ballard inside. So he found the open man, the big guy. Now cuts the lead down now to 9 points. A 9-point lead for Phoenix. The one thing you've got to say about this club, they have showed you some character. That is the Washington team. There's a foul underneath going for the tip in. We had talked earlier about the Western Conference All-Star Club. No injury on the play. Dennis Autry is down. Let's see who they call the foul on.
Third team foul. Alvin Scott into the game.
Right here, Dennis Autry comes inside. The foul is on Elvin Hayes. They stay at this end.
It'll be Elvin Hayes' third foul. They say it is a shooting foul, so he'll go to the line. With the Eastern Conference All-Star selection, Dr. J and Larry Keenan, they are the starting forwards. Pete Maravich and George Gervin will be the starting guards, and Dave Cowens of Boston will be the starting center. We hope you'll be on hand to watch that on CBS, the NBA All-Star game. That'll be on the 5th of February. Dennis Autry, the rebound by Wes Unseld. Now it is 4:13 left on the clock. 107-97. The lead is 10 for the Phoenix Suns. Larry Wright, Wes Unseld inside, double teamed on Elvin. Elvin stepping away and making his move, and Westball with the rebound. Westball's had a field day. He goes to Alvin Adams. Boosie is now posted. Adams with good. Steve Jones, as we look at this one, time just seems to run out on Washington, but suddenly they seem to find a reserve and hang in there, and they are not dead yet.
Well, they're not dead yet by any means, but they're making it awful tough for themselves to get out of the water. They are continuing to put the ball up from the outside. Every time Elvin Hayes has gotten the ball in deep after they've moved the ball around the perimeter, he's scored very easily. Dandridge has scored the same way. But they're coming down, they're trying to run with the Suns, which they just don't have the manpower to do. That may be what they like to do, but in this situation, they've got to realize they only have 7 able bodies, and some of them are really not ready to play.
This game in the first quarter showed that the back line of the Phoenix Suns is far superior, at least this afternoon, to the Washington Bullets. Looking around into the league standings, it is Portland with a 35-8 record now, and Phoenix 28-15. They are in second place. Denver leads Chicago by 4 in the Midwest. Philadelphia leading New York by 8 going into today's activity. New York still 8 back, Philadelphia 1. And San Antonio 27-18. What a year they've had as they lead Washington by 1. And if Washington loses this game, they'll be 2 games back. The NBA on CBS next Sunday. Los Angeles battling Washington, Philadelphia at Denver, Cleveland at Detroit, and Houston will be at Portland. Be interested, Steve, to watch Moses Malone in action in that Portland game.
Tremendous offensive rebounder who really doesn't get a chance. And one of the reasons he has to be such a good rebounder is he never gets a chance to shoot the ball inside. Got to get it someplace, so he figures he'll get it off the glass. Walton will have his hands full there. Portland, of course, is unbeaten at home.
In the first quarter, the game was really headed by the back line, as we said, between Boosie and Westfall. They had a total of 25 points, but Washington is hanging right in there. And now that's a total of 20 points for Bobby Dandridge. And there are 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, and it's 107-99. Boosie working against the shorter man, trying to take him inside. Stays outside to Alvin Scott, and a whistle.
Foul to number 10.
Foul to be called against Bobby Dandridge. Bobby Dandridge, you may wonder, as Steve was talking about the NBA record at home, the record, I think the Lakers established it 37-4 last year. They have the overall regular season record also. Steve Jones, as we look at this one, time just seems to run out on Washington, but suddenly they seem to find a reserve and hang in there, and they are not dead yet.
Well, they're not dead yet by any means, but they're making it awful tough for themselves to get out of the water. They are continuing to put the ball up from the outside. Every time Elvin Hayes has gotten the ball in deep after they've moved the ball around the perimeter, he's scored very easily. Dandridge has scored the same way. But they're coming down, they're trying to run with the Suns, which they just don't have the manpower to do. That may be what they like to do, but in this situation, they've got to realize they only have 7 able bodies, and some of them are really not ready to play.
This game in the first quarter showed that the back line of the Phoenix Suns is far superior, at least this afternoon, to the Washington Bullets. Looking around into the league standings, it is Portland with a 35-8 record now, and Phoenix 28-15. They are in second place. Denver leads Chicago by 4 in the Midwest. Philadelphia leading New York by 8 going into today's activity. New York still 8 back, Philadelphia 1. And San Antonio 27-18. What a year they've had as they lead Washington by 1. And if Washington loses this game, they'll be 2 games back. The NBA on CBS next Sunday. Los Angeles battling Washington, Philadelphia at Denver, Cleveland at Detroit, and Houston will be at Portland. Be interested, Steve, to watch Moses Malone in action in that Portland game.
Tremendous offensive rebounder who really doesn't get a chance. And one of the reasons he has to be such a good rebounder is he never gets a chance to shoot the ball inside. Got to get it someplace, so he figures he'll get it off the glass. Walton will have his hands full there. Portland, of course, is unbeaten at home.
In the first quarter, the game was really headed by the back line, as we said, between Boozy and Westphal. They had a total of 25 points, but Washington is hanging right in there. And now that's a total of 20 points for Bobby Dandridge. And there are 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, and it's 107-99. Boozy working against the shorter man, trying to take him inside. Stays outside to Alvin Scott, and a whistle.
Foul to number 10.
Foul to be called against Bobby Dandridge. Bobby Dandridge, you may wonder, as Steve was talking about the NBA record at home, the record, I think the Lakers established it 37-4 last year. They have the overall regular season record also, back in 71-72.
Portland has a shot at the unbeaten string established by Philadelphia, which is 36. Portland is almost invincible this year at home. They go on that court, they know they're going to win the basketball game somehow.
Alvin Scott. He looks like he might turn out to be a pretty good ball player. Very quick, Alvin Scott.
Well, Alvin Scott has gotten a chance to be on this Phoenix roster lineup just because of an injury.
The lead is back to 10 as Washington still hangs in there. Unseld trying to cut it to 8. It's loose. Larry Wright has it. And Larry Wright's got it. An 8-point difference with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the ball game. 4 team fouls called against the visitors. Against Washington, they got to be careful now.
Well, the Phoenix Suns have been playing that water faucet offense. They just turn it off and on whenever they want to, and they've been able to get baskets and shots whenever they really needed them, whenever Washington has gotten close.
The lead is 8. Elvin Hayes with a rebound. A bucket here could cut it tight with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Double teamed on Bobby Dandridge. That is Greg Ballard with an air ball. He sprung a leak on that one, and the rebound to Hurd. Hurd over to Boozy. Boozy trying to nail the coffin down to put the last nail in. With 2 minutes to go in the game, it's a lead of 8 points. Bobby Dandridge holds it up. Wes Unseld, a little tired, comes down, and a foul called against Don Boozy. That'll be the first foul in the 2-minute period. And so from now on, any foul, and it will be a penalty situation.
Well, both teams will be in the penalty, but again, Phoenix is swarming to the basketball whenever they need defensive pressure on the basketball. Washington is having to take tough tries. They're awfully tired. That last shot by Ballard, a shot he would have made with probably no difficulty early in the game, is all of a sudden the toughest shot in the world. It's like a man trying to get to the top of Mount Everest without that oxygen tank.
And the tank has run dry with 1 minute and 52 to go. Dick Motta's men are still hanging in there. That's the time remaining in the game. 7 Bullets prior to this game were in twin figures, showing you the balance they had. But with Chenier, Henderson, Greavy, and Kupchak out, they just don't have any bodies. 4 of the Suns have been in double figures. They've had a good attack and a balanced one as well. And right now we have only 1:52 minutes left, and the lead is 8 points, and Washington will have the ball. So they've got to score and score quickly, because the sands of time are definitely running out on them now. The San Antonio Spurs have had a great year, and Steve, you and I were talking about the Spurs season this year. They have a run and gun style of attack also.
They have tremendous offensive firepower, and that's what they accentuate. They stay on that offensive end. Makes no difference to them what the defensive team's record is. They're going to make you put the ball up in the air, and that's what they really try to do. They give Portland as tough a time as anyone, because Portland cannot control them in that situation. They just keep putting the ball up. It doesn't make a difference whether they lose by 1 or 50. They're going to put the ball up within a 5-7 second frame. Now, Washington in this situation has a timeout. They should try to work the ball back inside, move the ball quickly, move themselves. They'll be back within 6 if they get a basket. Otherwise, they'll end up with another tough drive from the outside. And again, that puts Phoenix in a breaking situation and a chance to get an easy basket.
Phoenix fans are in a festive mood here in Arizona as their club is leading 109-101 with 1:52 to go. 22 points in the game for Walt Davis, 30 for Paul Westphal, 18 for Don Boozy, 10 for Alvin Adams. No one else in double figures. Elvin Hayes has rammed home 26, Bobby Dandridge with 20, 13 for Phil Walker, and 11 points for Larry Wright. And a great effort by Greg Ballard. Ballard has scored 19. So now you're looking at Don Boozy, who had 18 points in a whale of a first quarter. He was 6 out of 7 from the field. Don Boozy, he started things going. That ball is deflected out of bounds in front of our microphone by Garfield Hurd. And so some time is used up on the clock. There will be 22 seconds remaining. There will be 22 seconds remaining. Elvin Hayes must inbound because he was the closest to the ball. So Elvin Hayes, the veteran center, will move over here and inbound the ball, looking toward Larry Wright with 1:49 left to go, and his club down by 8. Washington must get back in the game shortly with a couple of buckets and then a couple of steals.
Well, the Phoenix Suns don't seem to be too worried about this situation because they don't have their big offensive guns in. Davis and Westphal are both on the benches. Lee, Scott, Hurd, Dennis Autry, and Don Boozy handle the last crucial minutes of the game.
Ron Lee missing the layup. Autry getting the rebound. You saw Alvin Scott go up in the rafters to pull the rebound down with 1:20 to go. A bucket here would be near fatal. 109-101. Washington trailing by 8. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. 9 seconds on the 24-second clock. Ron Lee rebounded by Washington. Elvin Hayes must have 20 rebounds now. Gives it over to Larry Wright. 1 minute, 2 seconds to go in the game. Greg Ballard looking for a good shot, but goes outside and misses with the outside shot. The rebound, Don Boozy has it, and I think he's fouled in backcourt by Elvin Hayes.
Foul on number 11. Elvin Hayes is fourth penalty situation.
Fourth foul on Elvin Hayes, a penalty situation, and Don Boozy, an excellent foul shooter, will go to the line.
Well, Don Boozy just out-hustled everybody for that basketball. The ball came up again from the outside. Ballard put the ball up. He had no pressure on him. Boozy just outfought Elvin Hayes for the ball, and he's on the line.
So Boozy, who hits close to 80%, misses on that first one. He's been shooting 51% from the floor in his last 15. And he's played the most minutes, 32 on the Suns this season. That's his average. So he's been a great addition to this ball club. 52 seconds to go. The lead is 9. Washington now with an uphill battle, fighting the clock as well. And time running out on them with 40 seconds to go. Elvin Hayes has the ball taken away. Here's Ron Lee with a 3-on-1 situation. Lee doesn't get it, but Hurd does. And Hurd puts the icing on the cake.
Well, again, it's just an example. Like I said, it's been a water faucet offense for the Phoenix Suns. They turn it off and on whenever they want, and they've come up with easy baskets and big steals, and they've just out-hustled a tired Washington team.
Traveling violation called against Ron Lee with 26 seconds to go, and the lead is 112-101. Well, you can say that Washington was beaten, but they died hard here in the land of the shootout in Phoenix. You got to give them a lot of credit. They battled hard for 3/4 of the game, and they've just run out of gas. 24 seconds left, 112-101. The NBA on CBS sending it to you from Phoenix, Arizona, where it looks right now as though Phoenix will be winning their 10th straight here at home. They are now 18-3 playing here at home, and Washington on the road will go to 8-15. High man in the ball game is Paul Westphal with 30 points. Garfield Hurd Now running out the string to Don Boozy. Boozy did a whale of a job in the first quarter.
Well, the Phoenix Suns just aren't going to shoot the basketball. They don't have to. They can run the shot clock out, and that's the basketball game.
4 seconds to go, and a foul with 4 seconds to go called against Washington.
Not a good foul by Larry Wright in that situation. They're down by 11 points. A foul that, with 4 seconds left in the game, doesn't give them really an opportunity to score 9 points in 4 seconds.
Elvin Hayes has 18 rebounds, the official count. A new pro high for Greg Ballard this afternoon. The penalty shot for Ron Lee. 4 seconds to go in the game. 114 to 101. Phoenix leading. You see the time remaining in the game. And this will be it, as Ballard takes the last shot of the game and doesn't get it. And so the final score, 114 to 101, as the Washington Bullets have lost to the Phoenix Suns. And a very tired and a very dejected Washington club now going toward the dressing room with Dick Motta, their coach. So you see the final score. The Phoenix Suns rolling and staying solidly in second place in their division, knocking off Washington and dropping them back to 2 games behind in their division. As right now, San Antonio has a mark of 27-18, and Washington's record goes to 24-19. That'll be a 2-game advantage in the Central Division of the Eastern Conference. Phoenix gains a full game on Portland. They are now 6.5 back, and it is a 29-15 record for Phoenix, and Portland is at 35-8. The final statistics of the game giving the advantage for the Suns. And from an individual standpoint, Walt Davis had 22 and Paul Westphal had 30. Don Boozy with 19, Alvin Adams with 10. Those are the leading scorers for the Phoenix Suns. And individually for the Bullets, Elvin Hayes with 26 and 18 rebounds. And Dandridge with 20, 13 for Walker, and 11 for Wright. And so, Steve Jones, this winds up an afternoon, and the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award goes to Don Boozy, who had a tremendous first quarter with 6 out of 7, 2 for 2, an assist, a steal. He had 3 rebounds, and he kind of triggered, the whole offense in the whole afternoon, Steve, for the successful Phoenix Suns effort.
He got them started, and I really feel that's the reason that he was the most valuable player this afternoon. Paul Westphal and Walter Davis, both great offensive players, but they more or less had a free reign, and they were going to get theirs. It really didn't make any difference. I thought Westphal had a sensational second half of the basketball game, but I thought, again, that Don Boozy was the reason that they got off to a good start. The Washington Bullets were their own worst enemies. You know, like a drowning man trying to get up for the 3rd time. They continue to splash and fight themselves. They continue to try and run with the team when they just didn't have the firepower.
And so, of course, the Chevrolet $1,000 scholarship will be awarded to Evansville University on behalf of Don Boozy. And, of course, that is in Evansville, Indiana. And the final score of the game, 114 to 101. The scoreboard indicates the same, and so Phoenix keeps rolling along, and they are in good shape right now, Steve, as they look toward the drive that will carry them hopefully into the playoffs.
Well, what they're hopeful of is Portland lost today out on the road. They're hopeful that Portland will lose a few more games out on the road, and they can inch their way maybe into a chance to challenge Portland for the lead. Portland had a tremendous start and playing with tremendous confidence, and by far they've had the best first half of the season of anyone in the NBA so far. They are not the most talented basketball team player-wise, but they play with the best team-oriented idea. Everybody gets a chance to do what they can do best. Philadelphia probably has more talent than them, but seems to have to share the basketball a little bit more because they have more people that have got their nose stuck on that 10-foot rim up there.
You know, it's an interesting thing, Steve, but as most of the fans know, a team without the ego is a team that usually is able to put it together individually, and that's what has happened in Portland. But Phoenix is showing an indication also that they have the kind of spirit, the kind of unity that carried them into the playoffs a couple of years ago.
No question about it. Phoenix is playing well. Everybody has talked about changes on team. The Lakers made a lot of changes. Denver Nuggets made a lot of changes. Lots of teams have made changes, but the ones that have been able to put it together, so to speak, are the ones that have been able to sell the program from the start of the season and get a few wins and make their teams believe that they are going to win and be in the basketball game most of the time. So the Phoenix Suns, they sold their program. John McLeod's done a great job with his group. They're in second place.
They have put it all together. They're doing the things that you have to do to win, and that, of course, is team basketball. Let's look right now at the final statistics on this afternoon's game. The individual statistics we gave you, the team statistics. We have 49-41. The Suns shooting 49%. They came back in the rebounding department and finally took the advantage offensively. Defensively, the other way around. The assists are all even, and turnovers, you see the Bullets forced to have 3 more turnovers than the Phoenix Suns. So the final score here, 114-101. A reminder, the 3rd round of the Andy Williams San Diego Open will be next Saturday live on CBS at 4 o'clock. That's Eastern time. We hope that you'll be part of it. So now this is Jerry Gross along with Steve Jones saying goodbye from the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Come on, guys. One way or the other, please, so we get out of here.
Final score, 114-101 as the Phoenix Suns defeat the Washington Bullets. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.
Back in '73, did you have the feeling that some American companies were taking advantage of the Arab oil embargo to line their own pockets? 60 Minutes says you were right. Be watching tomorrow on CBS.